Always Talking Shit Show.
Yo. What's good? It's your boy Doc on.
It's your boy Keem Sincere.
You're back in tune with another session of the Always Talking Shit Show. I don't know if you guys can really notice, but the setup has changed. Your boy had to move into a new motherfucking spot. That's why we ain't been on in a couple weeks, amongst other fucking things.
Some of y'all goddamn business, nigga. We here now.
But we're gonna jump into some shit. So I was just having a long ass conversation with this nigga outside. He helped me come to the conclusion that I'm one of the niggas that's suffering from like cabin fever due to this pandemic that we've been going through. I'm not. I mean, from the last couple episodes, y'all motherfuckers have seen it. I ain't been into this shit like usual or like in before. And
you weren't in full transparency, motherfuckers. Huh?
And
that's what you meant about the joke. Okay, I see what you're saying.
And
you hell. Get your shit off, man.
It's just been, for lack of a better word, I guess, like rough. I mean, I'm used to. I guess before I moved here, my company Image Box, I used to make great fucking money, a lot of money, have a cool ass savings account, was never touched, shit like that. And then like it's just shit that I was used to having and was accustomed to having. And then so like I'm used to DJing every weekend. I'm used to, like he's telling me, I'm used to having my social life was paying me a check. So I got spoiled in that aspect that, yeah, I got to go out every weekend. And on top of going out every weekend, I didn't have to spend any money. In contrary, I got paid. A lot of word of mouth, a lot of business, a lot of shows, a lot of, rubbing elbows with everybody. But it's a small place. Not to mention, I'm like hip-hop royalty out there. And it's not tooting my own fucking horn. It's just facts. So I get anywhere I want to go. I don't pay to do shit. Motherfuckers just hit me and be like, hey, there's a show tonight, you on the list, whatever. So.
And what I was trying to explain to you is when you invest time in an area, that's what it becomes, right?
Right.
But then when you're spreading, you know what I'm saying, when you're venturing off, hey man, this is what it is. Like it's just going up different levels. Not levels in the sense that anything is at a level that you can't aspire to, or that just shitting on you, but it's just simply just making that move. Like
you just, and then like, so you express something outside.
You talking about going to New Yiddy?
Like
when we doing it, like, you know what I'm saying? When that time happen, we gonna be having the same conversation.
You talking about, and then you were talking about like.
Was those new glasses? See, I don't like when niggas just be stunned. You know what I'm saying, fam? Like, you know what I'm saying? When they got the Burberry joints on, nigga, just chilling like
Burberry.
All right, my nigga, I see
you. Know what I'm saying?
I see you. Man, carry on. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But and I didn't want to say this outside because there's a lot of content. I mean, we're gonna talk about it all anyway. But so you said like there's a friend that he brought to me to buy beats. He said I didn't seem too enthusiastic about it, and he was absolutely correct. There's nothing against this dude.
Hold on. He might not even really like know that. He might not. He don't know you.
Right.
So he couldn't. This ain't a conversation we had. This is just me knowing both parties.
No, I know that. I'm letting
give you an example.
I didn't want to tell you outside what it was because this is great. It's good content.
Do you think?
Because then he'll get a look. If he ever watches it, he'll get a look into how I kind of am. And this is no knock against him. Dude's mad cool. Dude show hella love when it comes to my beats. And I've just over the years producing and over the years watching my brother do it, you lose your own enthusiasm at some point to where you're like, yeah, nigga, you're buying a beat, but it's like, what the fuck am I going to hear after this? Am I ever going to hear this song again? Is it going to do anything? It's not a knock against this individual. I think about this with everybody because we can go to a dude that I made 2 hot-ass songs for that we should have pushed into a single. One got released and it did alright numbers video-wise and shit. but it never got put out on like iTunes or anything. The other one was supposed to get released last night. The video, mind you, we shot the video in October, and it still ain't been released. So that's where my like skepticism comes from. And I look at all.
Can I make a
motherfuckers
suggestion?
like that?
Because there's people hearing this that are creators, and they're like, "Yeah, I feel you, Dre. I get that." And now this is just throwing it at the wall. So you tell me if this is possible or not. And I said this to you before. One day you were showing me some shit, and I was like, "What, man? Fuck them niggas! I'll put this shit out." Mm-hmm. Right now, I can speak from personal knowledge that
you're talking about the Dowdy Brothers album.
That I had an artist I was working with. He had a feature with 40. But dealing with the label situation he had and the management situation that he was signed to, it was an issue. Niggas was fumbling the pack. Like, oh, we're going to release it. We're going to shoot a video for it this time. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It never happened.
And that's like
and then
the
finally,
issue.
hold on, Big Dog 40 Water said, oh, they sleeping on one, man.
Right.
Leaked it. So my thing is this. You're the producer.
Oh, what's up, Mama Rose?
You're the videographer, right? Imagine this. Like, what if you were in a situation where you have something kind of drawn up? You have something kind of drawn up, right? And it's like, okay, so I'm selling you this beat in good faith,
right?
But by this date, I have rights to push it.
It's almost like you
have
to.
Yeah, because it's a marriage, and I've
because
always
think
wondered.
About
that's
how
what
long,
I was reaching.
think,
That's
think
what I was
about
getting
how
about
long,
outside.
Think about how long. If we shot that video in October and we were supposed to release yesterday and it didn't come out. Think of like I'm like, the video's dope, the beat's dope, song's dope. Right. Like it's a good little trifecta thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Everything matches up. Lyrics
and
match
up
to the beat. Video. He's just the dude I'm talking about. He's always been like this. He holds on to his music.
Hey.
And so I'm like, and I'm starting to feel so that's where my lack of enthusiasm with the homie that you brought me, because now I'm like, okay, I want to hear what was done to the music, if anything's been done, because I don't know if he's been to the studio.
Right.
And then that's just where I'm just like,
no, I think we're killing that shit.
I'm like, let me hear something.
But see, this is the thing.
And if niggas want,
but hold on, no. I gotta hold you accountable for your. I gotta hold you accountable for your arrogance.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm about to hold myself accountable.
So what happens is like, here it is. You don't know me from Adam.
Hold on, let me hold myself accountable. You didn't let me do that.
All right, well.
Now, you told me bruh wanted me in the studio with him. Bruh wouldn't really want me in the studio with him with the energy that he got from me. Look, because I'm hold on.
No, but you gotta represent it right. What I said is that when it comes time for him to record
it,
when he books the Palms,
now
as the original producer, of course he wants you in there.
If at this point he decides he doesn't, I would understand.
That I wouldn't,
because I didn't give him the greatest energy when I saw him beats.
He don't know that,
and
that's what I was saying to you. Like, that's what I was saying. Don't confuse our conversation in there. Like, he don't know that. He don't know you.
Right.
I'm talking as a nigga that's known you for fucking decades. Like, yo, bro, that wasn't your energy, because I noticed that you just got down here, nigga. You're reaching out, you're doing your thing. That's the thing right there. So like, for your energy to be where it was, where I recognized it,
and that's like the same.
That's why I said it's like, you know,
it's
you're
the
going through it a
same
little
with
bit.
the fucking podcast. You've noticed me in the last 4 episodes. It's just, I feel like everything is going through the fucking motions, and I don't know. I feel like when I moved here, the structure that I had went to shit. And I fucking hate that. And then back to talking.
Elaborate on these things. Like, in what way?
How my structure went to shit.
Yeah. Like, what was the structure, and then how did it change? Is what I'm trying to say. Because nigga, you moved to a new city.
But that's what I mean. Like,
the structure's gonna change.
That's what I mean. Is like that. It just threw it. It's just throwing everything the fuck off, bro. Like, it's not. I'm not enjoying that shit. And there's the arrogance in me for that, being like, okay, I'm supposed to just hit the ground running, but god damn, nigga, I need to hit the fucking ground running or something, because I'm not.
Hey, how many minutes are we at? That's another thing, bro. We don't watch our mouth 2 minutes or 2 minutes in. I was reading up on this Facebook shit, man. Like, go ahead. My bad. I don't mean to cut you off. We'll talk about that later. Cause
Um,
it it sounds like this, fam. And like I said, it's just some soul searching, man. Man, it's just some good old fashioned. Let me roll one. Get in the car, nigga. It's been a lot of new music to drop. Get back on your boom bap shit. Go get inspired. Go get inspired. Go look at something
do you
fly.
know? Okay, so let's talk. Let me go ahead and talk some more shit about myself because. So do you know why I got so into that RP shit? Like, do you? I'm
No,
sure you could
first off,
probably.
no, stop. There's an audience listening to this.
Right.
What is RP? Explain that, and then go with your story. Because nigga, you've been missing on that part for a minute. You were supposed to be holding that down and bring that to the show, but you just been in your own head with that.
Bro,
I can't
I'm
wait to
about
hear the
give
story.
The crash course
but nigga,
on everything. So
you let niggas know what you're
here's
talking
why
about.
I was so into like role playing on like GTA 5M and shit.
Hold on. You said
Grand Theft Auto 5M role playing servers.
No, I see why y'all call it RP now.
All right.
I didn't know.
So I think the reason that I was so like into that shit is because I was again the big fish in the little pond. Because you know, I got once again, I'm not bragging or to my own horn. I have superstar quality to me. You know what I'm saying? Like in certain rooms, nigga, I'm gonna command that shit every time.
Okay.
So in these small secluded things, when everybody like, I was the most popping. Everybody fucked with me. I owned a little couple dealerships. When I was in the game, everybody's at the dealership. We like 15, 20 deep in a 30-person server. You know what I'm saying? So I'm off that shit now because, nigga, I ran out the city. Let me tell you how this whole shit went down.
This shit is crazy.
Because I ain't really talked about it, but let me talk about it. All right? So okay. When I tell you it was the most popular in this motherfucker, I shit you not. I wish I had like niggas who was in there with me as viewers right now, so they could like.
Nigga, just tell us what happened.
All right, so I got the 2 shops, 2 dispensaries, right? I got the female in the game that everybody wants. She my chick.
Is she a real girl?
Yeah.
And then she's playing the game too.
Yeah.
All right.
So she's my chick. Funny thing is, her dude plays in the same server and okayed me being with his chick in the server.
Because he got her in real life and knows what she looks like.
Right. So, all right, I got her, okay? And I got the shop, and I think, you know, Dre's arrogant a little bit. When Dre's popping and he knows he's popping, nigga, you gonna know.
Love you too, Mom.
He's popping.
Right.
So I was just doing a video kind of arrogant. I'm like, you know, smooth. So one day, I'm chilling. I go to the bank. Nigga, I go deposit about $34 million in that motherfucker real quick from the dealership. So I pull up, and mind you, we got stereos and shit in these cars. And in my dealership, I got them dunk. You know what a dunk is, right? Them motherfuckers with 26s and a big beat in the trunk or whatever. So I'm beating. I got R&B music playing. I drive by these 2 twins. They just happen to pull up on me like, oh, what's up? I like your car. I like them speakers. Oh, that's what you listen to. Okay, you ain't like all the rest of them in here. Woo-dee-woo. Oh, who got the weed? I was like, oh, I got the weed. I own 2 dispensaries out here. You know, take my number. Hit me. I'm going to have my worker come drop some shit off to me. And I'm like, So they got
bro, tell them your story, bro. Keep going. I'm listening.
So I deposit the money, right? Boom. I go get with my chick. We over there getting some drugs and shit. We're about to start serving drugs. You know what I'm saying? Little party jumps off. I'm like, hey, these little twins ran up on me earlier. You know, they're trying to kick it or whatever. You know, the little female was with it. So we got the twins. We went to the party, and this is where the hate starts. What's up?
My mic is shaking like a motherfucker. Hold on, let me tighten my shit up. I was just tripping. I was like, nigga, is everybody else shaking? That's all it was.
Yeah. So, this is where it starts because this night, right, I get up, like, we were at the beach and we are having a little party, right? I jump on, like, the DJ set because I really DJ, nigga. I start acting like I'm DJing and I start throwing songs and mixing and all types of shit. So the chick is like, my main chick in the game is like, hey, I think we're losing the twins because they're talking to somebody else. I said, nigga, no, it didn't. Hold on, stop the music. Like, hey, twins, come here. Both of them jump on stage. So niggas saw my commander shit and they was like, okay, fuck this nigga. Fast forward. The dude who owns the server broke up with his chick because she wouldn't let him have multiple girlfriends after this nigga saw me with multiple girlfriends.
Fam, how'd you get kicked off? How'd you get kicked off the game?
Can I tell you? Because it's all going to go into the day that this all went crazy. Fast forward some more. One night, the owner's not in the city. So somebody offers me some in real life money to buy a couple of cars because they're new to the game, and they can't buy currency from him because he's gone. I'm like, cool, send it to my Cash App. I'm going to send it to this nigga, and we just going to do the deal that way. So, you know what I'm saying? They know I ain't making no money regardless. So we did that. The fucking admins in there TP me to them, teleport me to them later. Like, oh, we got to tell the owner that you made that in real life deal and all that shit. I'm like, that's cool. I already sent them the money anyway, so you ain't really, fuck are you telling on me for? All right, cool. So I wake up the next day with a message from him like, oh, you're over here trying to make deals for money and shit. I was like, I was asking him, like, did you check your fucking Cash App, or you just automatically start jumping on fucking bullshit because niggas want to tell you part of the story? So he checks his Cash App and he's like, oh yeah, they didn't tell me you sent me the money. I was like, of course these niggas didn't. Of course that's what a whole snitch ass, bitch ass nigga do who dick rides the next man because he wants to seem like, you know what type of nigga I'm talking about. Just a dick eater. He got a whole group of groupies, niggas who would just ride this nigga dick. So we squash it. He says it's cool, but later in the thing, he's still in there talking shit. So I'm like, whatever. A couple days go by. Somebody sends me a fucking video of him and like 15 other people in the game talking about me. Like just going in on like me as a person, not going in on my character. They're now talking about Dre.
That's crazy.
So, it's talking about I manipulate niggas, I bully them, and all types of shit. So, and they're like, yeah, he does one more thing wrong. He could just cough wrong or whatever. We're going to ban him forever and shit. So, basically, just forcing me out. So, a week goes by. About a week goes by, right?
Right.
And now, they've taken it so far that they can't get me out. I'm not just going to leave. That the owner tells the dude to tell his bitch to break up with me in the game. She does.
To tell a young lady.
Yeah,
shout out to our female listeners.
My bad. She didn't do anything wrong. So tells her that, all right, you gotta break up with him because we're trying to get him to leave. Whoop-de-whoop.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Now I'm gonna give you niggas what you want. I'm out. Like I'm not gonna keep dealing with you niggas.
Right. It's a game.
Right. Now we're doing too much. So basically, his ex-female hits me up from the game, who he actually was talking to in real life, saying that this nigga never liked me. He didn't like me because I didn't kiss his ass. He didn't like me because I never took a handout for money. Because mind you, I had like $300 million in a fucking game. I wasn't around him. I didn't need to kick it around him. I never asked him for anything. Never wanted for anything from him. Shit like that.
So that's why he created the game?
Yeah. Because this nigga has no power in real life.
So, I mean,
that's your power, nigga. Like, you a real life lame ass nigga.
A lot of people don't got power in real life.
But he's a real life lame ass nigga, and he uses this to be the only power that he's got. So, yeah. That's what the fuck happened with that shit. So now I'm leaving that shit completely alone because these motherfuckers really take this shit way too serious.
Fam, it sound like all y'all taking it too serious.
How? Nigga, all I was doing was having fun, bro. I wouldn't, and then finally when they kept doing too much, I left. It wasn't fun to be in there no more, nigga. Niggas talking about you and shit. I never talked about these niggas. I never once spoke about their out of person. I never spoke about them personally ever.
Right.
So no, I never took this shit out of the game. This shit was all in-game shit with me. They took this shit out of the game.
Yeah, that's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me because I just didn't know that, like, niggas would even be that like invested in it. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
These cats, super
And
invested.
about actually, matter of fact, stay the fuck out of paid in full servers on 5M. That nigga Jo is straight ass bitch, nigga. I smack fire at that whole ass nigga. And I hope somebody sees this and knows him and tell him I said that.
Shout out to the gamer community, man.
Bitch ass nigga.
Who knew it got that real?
That game will get you beat the fuck up, homeboy. Well, nah, it's crazy.
No,
like
I'm not making fun.
No,
I'm
you're
seeing
not.
that like.
But this nigga, it'd be like a real life nigga pillow talking you to a bitch. You'd
No,
be ready to.
I get what
I know
you're saying.
you get what I'm saying. I'm telling
Yeah,
the viewers.
I get what you're saying. Like
it's the equivalent of somebody pillow talking you to a bitch. It's the same thing, or pillow talking to niggas who you thought was cool, stay in your face laughing, but as soon as somebody talking
to a
about
female.
you, they can't wait to get on the bandwagon. Like,
Right.
Oh yeah, fuck that bitch ass nigga.
Right.
Yeah, he a
no,
hoe
that's
ass
true.
nigga. You
That's
know
true.
what
That's
I'm
where that
saying?
whole saying comes from. Like, oh, don't tell me what they said about me.
Why was they so
Why was they so comfortable saying it in front of you? That's what that is. Well, that's unfortunate, man. That's unfortunate. You can't start your own server?
Yeah, I can. I'm just, it's just mad. It's expensive. So,
Oh, okay.
We get popping. I'm gonna fuck around and start the always talking shit show server.
Yeah,
nigga.
man. We need to look
Have
into
it
that.
lit, for real.
We need to look into that now.
Well, I know where to buy. It's like $700 to get one that's completely built, ready to get niggas into it and ready to go.
Okay.
To where we don't have to do no extra shit. We tell them exactly type of shit we want. They'll build it to a T, send it to us. But yeah, it became like, nigga, you're fucking up my real life energy. Like, where I'm like nigga. So I was like, yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, no.
I'm out of here, bro.
Once you get to that point, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna.
But the nigga was mad about $30, nigga.
I don't understand how you owed him $30. That's what I'm kind of
Because I didn't owe him, because basically if he was in there to sell it, he would have sold the nigga in-game currency to let him buy the card from me. But I had to middleman it because this nigga wasn't there.
Oh.
So here's the thing, nigga. This nigga spends 24 hours on that game. This nigga wakes up on the game. This nigga will fall asleep on the game, nigga. And I'm like, oh, so I'm like, now I know why you sweat the $30, nigga. This is income to you, nigga. This is your job.
Right.
You don't ever hear him going out to kick it. He's a rapper, but you don't hear about him going to no studio. You don't hear about him writing no music. This nigga's in the game every day. You're not doing no shows. You're not shooting. You're not doing anything, nigga. This game is you.
Right.
Without this is your power. Without this, you are a cornball, nigga. And you know that. That's why you hold on to this game so much, nigga. And anybody who challenges you at it, you try to ban them and get them out your city.
Yeah, that's foul. That's some corny shit, man. Microcosm of the real world. It's always a corny nigga lurking around. But yeah, man. Because I was wondering when you told me, I was wondering if it was like technical or something, like a technical issue or something. You couldn't play it.
Nope.
But you said, nah, I'm done with them.
It was you niggas is some hating ass bitches.
I remember how they used to act though, like.
If you are looking for a 5M server to fuck with, go search City of Killers with a Z. Killaz. That shit go.
City of Killers with a Z.
PIF played it full, can eat a dick. Y'all some groupies, nigga.
And do cats pay to be in the groups, or like how does that work?
Yeah, certain ones. So like Grizzly World, which is run by T Grizzly. You gotta pay like $350 a month to be in his server, nigga.
Oh, he's getting okay. We know, so it is lucrative to get a server.
Nigga, Anthony Davis has one.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta pay like, I think his is like $200 a month or some shit.
We about to get an ATS server, man.
Yeah, of course.
Get it
Nigga, let
poppin'.
this shit, nigga. Once this shit go popping, nigga, we gonna have a always talking shit fucking server.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Bitch ass niggas, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to them lame dudes, man. Y'all just lost the realest thing on y'all little game now, so.
But I think that's
What you
why
gonna do
I
now?
loved the game so much, or why I was so into it, is because I got to be the big fish in the little pond again. That's where the whole.
Why are you obsessed with that? That's never worked for anybody. You know that, right?
And nah, but
I'm just telling
sometimes you lose that feeling. To feel it again is cool.
It's the feeling's an illusion.
I need that shark in the ocean. Though,
No, that's
man.
the thing, though. That's what I want you to understand. That feeling is an illusion. It don't really exist. It's in your head.
Like I said, it's role playing, nigga.
It's in your head.
So yeah, I got to use my imagination real quick and be the man. I don't got $300 million and 19 cars and fucking 12 houses.
And to me, though, I think it's psychotic. And I swear, dog, I think it's like a psychotic nuisance to like do that. So like, this is just now speaking for me, because
you're speaking like my brother. Cause I know what you're gonna say.
Does Dialect play any games?
He plays sports. He doesn't play the games where you do the. He's like, nigga, you over here getting millions of dollars, but you got millions of dollars in the real life.
Come on, fam.
Dialect's whole.
Come on, fam. I do not see. Look, so when I see a nigga like Anthony Davis and them when they playing those games,
he got that.
I think that they have more fun, right? But
because they know how to act when they're rich in there, because they're doing it in real life.
My nigga, they might be inspired by some shit in there. Like, oh, I'm gonna go cop one of these. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm gonna really cop one of these.
Right.
Look, all I'm saying is this: I'm not, and this is my thing. I'm not an anti-gamer, and people feel like because I don't play any games that I'm like anti-game.
No, you just don't find games fun.
And that's the true thing. I had to one day. I just realized about 13, maybe. Like, I say I keep it real, and I say I'm a man. And I'm not a follower. But I'm looking at all my friends, nigga, and teammates and shit, nigga, just around having a ball. They're fighting over who's next. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nigga, I don't even want to be in here with these niggas. This shit is boring as fuck.
Boring as fuck.
I might be texting or talking to a girl on the phone or something, or like, not even trying to sound cool. You know what I'm saying?
And now, hold on, let me get this so we can action it. Now, nigga, the baddest females game, and they used to think that was corny and nerdy. Now that they're like, oh, you game? Oh, we can play Call of Duty all night together.
No, it's the evolution. Females had to start gaming, cause gaming niggas, you don't look now on some bachelor shit.
They're making bread,
bro. I'm not gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? How many females just ran up behind your boy? Cause oh, you don't play video? Like they used to be on that. They just come over to the crib like,
and didn't
hold on, you don't play video games?
Right.
And I'll just be like, nah, not really. Not to be cool. Wait, we in there?
I'm not going in that garage right
now. I feel you, man. It is what it is.
I can smoke one in here.
Yeah, man. I feel what you. I get it. Bless the new crib. You know what I'm saying? Just baptized. But let me say this to that. So this is like the reason why I never, fam. I mean, I would have to go back to like playing board games with my sister and aunt and like families to where I really, and even then I can honestly say if the shit stopped right then and there, I wouldn't be tripping. Like, you know what I'm saying? My mom used to work hard and shit coming up to give me the little games and stuff. And I think she would hear other parents that had, you know, my friends' parents and shit, and she would hear them. And she would hear my friends all excited about it and probably just assume, well, King plays ball with them. They do everything together. Like, he probably wants one too. And it'll be like surprise, and I'd be like, damn, man, I could have had like 4 more sweaters.
Yeah, nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was that kid. I was a kid that loved getting clothes on Christmas, nigga. Like, I ain't even really care about a toy like that.
I loved all that shit because I got it all. Like, I got.
Me too. I was spoiled.
Yeah, I got.
Hey, shout out to my mother, man.
My dad's upstairs and he could tell you.
Shout out to my mother, man. All my friends could tell you. Like, I had friends that would rush to my house on Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, it just was weird, man. Like, so.
I had friends whose moms would base their Christmas off what my mom and dad were getting me for Christmas.
Right.
Just so they could, you know, match it up because they know I spent so much time with these motherfuckers. They didn't want them to feel like, oh, well, I ain't get one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and y'all going to be doing it together looking at us.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like, they would match up shit like that.
So when it comes to that, like, man, I have joy for a lot of things, bro. Like, if you recommend me to a dope book or like a documentary or show, shit that a lot of people only find cool sometimes.
Let me recommend you to a good book.
Hold on. Like, sometimes, nigga, I do it. I'm into that. Like, you know, I'm into certain the things I'm into, and I have fun with them. And I learned a long time ago, what I eat don't make you shit. So at the end of the day, nigga, it was more pressure for me not playing video games. These would be mad and offended. Like,
do you know who Rude Jude is?
Rude Jude, yeah.
You gotta read his books, nigga. It's all his like life experiences, nigga. Fucking comedy, bro. You would enjoy that shit. That had you weak. The first thing started like it starts like he on a bad like ketamine trip and like this nigga just ran out of acid and Valium to come down. Like this nigga just wild, bro. Shout out to Ruju. I always
Speaking
like
of
shout
K,
that's my guy.
you know that nigga Mingo kick it with whatchamacallit, man.
Shout out to Mingo.
What's his name?
Nigga, I need to hear them songs, nigga. Come on, man. I need to get enthusiastic about some music
What's that nigga's
again,
name, bro? Coolio?
Oh yeah.
So nigga, one time we had a party. Switching stories, story time, nigga. One time we had a party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nigga, you don't never want to tell no stories, nigga. I want to hear tell stories.
Nigga, I tell way more stories on here than you.
No, you don't.
What you talking about? Nigga, from when my homegirl moved in with the kid. Nigga, I told a whole bunch of my shit, nigga, here. I done told personal shit.
That was some of the
about
wildest
my
shit.
I done told a lot of shit,
Dog,
nigga.
no, hey, bruh, we gotta get that shit edited. Those episodes are in there. And those, oh man, I apologize to y'all. I've been slacking because it was my job for a long time to do
so
it.
Good, man.
But there's a lot of like
hey,
you're gonna.
Tell them all our business.
You about to get a lot of great content
Yeah,
once we
content.
finally push those.
And niggas don't understand, bro. Like we're different. We got a story to tell, fam. We started off signed. We free agents out here now, nigga. We do what the fuck we want to do.
Jeremy Lin story type shit.
Right. We got a 30 for 30 out here on these niggas, man. Hey, we should do a mock 30 for 30 about our shit, dog.
That shit might get popping.
Hold on, no. Hey, cause the one
y'all
subject,
niggas don't steal that fucking
hold on, fam,
idea.
because the one subject matter that I do have is gonna bring it all back full circle.
Okay.
Because I just settled down on one, nigga, right?
So yeah, y'all see.
Let me get this shit off.
Nigga.
Let me get this shit off real quick. I'll be quick. So, I'm with my nigga Mingo. You know what I'm saying? And he don't care, nigga. I can tell a story. I was there. So, Mingo grabbed me. Mingo grabbed me. It's like I had just got out here. I probably went out here no longer than about a year or two, fam.
Right.
So I was on the same shit. Ming, that's my nigga. Ming, like, nah, bro, you just need to get out, nigga. Let them see you out here, man. You need to move, nigga. Stop fucking with them, nigga. You need to do this, need to do that. I'm like, man, all right, whatever, nigga. Like, I was just chilling in the comfort zone in the cuts. He hit me one day. He like, nah, nigga, let's go, let's link. We gonna do this, we gonna do that. He's like, I gotta make a couple moves. So, well, this nigga Mingos, he's mad secretive. You never know with him, fam. Like, you never know if you going to some shit and you just gonna be parked by a fucking garage and somebody gonna jump in the car and jump out, nigga. Or if like you gonna go somewhere, nigga, have a drink, nigga, eat a steak, nigga, and then wait for a nigga to come down. Like, he be on that type time. So I was just freestyling. I'm with you, nigga. We out here. We on one. We chilling. Fam, we pull up. He's like, man, my boy, I got my mans. I gotta meet him. You know, that's my guy. Right. He was like, man, he high energy, man. He a baller. It'd be different around here. He's like, nigga, so stay close. Talking to me like I'm basically a fucking kid. So you know, we niggas like, man, fuck out of here, nigga. What you talking to? I'm a grown ass man, right? I does this, nigga. What you talking about? We pull up, nigga. One of the craziest suites, nigga, ever at the Palms, right? Fam, it's women, drugs, alcohol, and food everywhere. That's like literally what's out for display. Women, drugs, alcohol, and food. It's naked females walking around, nigga. It's women with body paint. It's, you know, make a long story short, you need your boy find a little entertainment. I catch a vibe, nigga. I'm out on the balcony pool. Nigga, you hear me? With my feet in the water, nigga, with a bitch in a mermaid suit swimming around topless. We kicking it. I did exactly what my man told me not to do. I left him. Nigga, I get lost. I'm in this part. This shit's so cracking, fam. I end up smoking weed with 3 females and this rich dude, right? That's got like, I guess allegedly at the party, like he's getting treated like the fucking Godfather. Right. In this suite that's so big that the bathroom, we're in the closet, and the closet is like the size of this fucking room, fam. I forgot I was in the closet. So when Mingo hit me, where you at, man? My guy's here. Where are you at? I want you to meet him. He don't tell me his guy is Coolio. Like, he's, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, I finally, like, go out the room and meet him, nigga. Like, come in here. I need you to meet somebody. Without talking about the business and the particulars, nigga. We was talking business, right? Mm. So I was like, I need you to come holler at me. And Mingo, he'll never let me live this down because this nigga frisked us. He's frisked us. But the dude might have been a little gay. Oh, right? Man. But he, you know, frisked us down like, nigga. But his dad allegedly, nigga, was like some mob dude. So everybody in there was treating this nigga like he was a mob boss, nigga. Like, he was just running the party, nigga. Coolio's in this party. Right. It's wild, nigga. Like, make a long story short, bro. I woke up there. Mingo was like, nigga, it's time to go. I was like, nah, nigga, I'm here. I'm out, nigga. So I disappeared somewhere, nigga. Just a Mingo story. Turns out I cursed this nigga out the next morning, like, bro, why the fuck you ain't tell me the whole time we was waiting at the party for Coolio? Nigga, right? Don't you think that's some shit I should have known?
Right.
Mingo goes in and tell, oh, my bad, fool. Yeah, I ain't mean to tell you. That's my guy, man. He was like, but he ain't shit. He wanted us to kick it with him all night. And I said, no. And I'm like, nigga, why? He had it lit. He was just like, and that's where it comes full circle. He's like, he told me about his little K story. He said he was fucking with them niggas. Like, I said, Coolio on them. Got him on one. He said, and then he had like, you know, I guess they had that little moment where they catch the little black hole where they just get stuck. He said that nigga was in the bathroom in the stall.
Oh, the K-hole.
The stall just stuck.
No.
He said Coolio and them nigga is outside the stall, nigga, cracking. Just dying laughing, nigga, like.
Had him in a K-hole.
Yeah, he said, my nigga said, he was like, I ain't fucking with them niggas no more. Like, said he was just on one, boy. Damn. So when you said that, that's what made me think about that,
I seen niggas in K-holes, bro. That shit.
Damn.
Nigga, so we had a thing called, I've told you about the money game, right?
Yeah, nigga, we played the money game with this motherfucker a couple times. Y'all niggas is
So
wild. Hey, let me tell you,
real, so
all you niggas is foul that was playing the money game with him. And I know you niggas. You're foul.
So, shout out to the homie. I ain't gonna tell his name. I mean, would I be wrong if I did? It was just a...
Hey, man, we talking our shit, bro. If you was there, nigga, you got access to it. You
shout out to the homie Bamboo, right?
Oh, my nigga Bamboo. That's why you ain't tell me I knew him.
So
it's my guy.
We dare him to do a line or money game to do a ketamine line, right? And it was niggas.
Oh wait, hold on, bro. I was like, damn, we ain't had to say his name. We were gonna be doing all that thing. It was like
it's the money game.
Allegedly,
it's a money game. We have the footage of the shit. Like it's out there. It's just like niggas tell this story all day.
Niggas in a different space now. But go ahead.
So we daring to do a line of ketamine, but niggas gave him too long of a lie, so they split it up or whatever. He took it, nigga. He was gonzo.
As he should have been.
Gonzolian. Muppet baby, nigga.
I bet, bro.
Dog, the money game was lightweight dangerous, nigga.
Man, I'm serious. Y'all niggas survived that.
Nigga, the homie Vale, rest in peace, Vale, and the homie Raj, they did it was like shot for shot, and then one had to drink a cup of milk, and the other one, since he was lactose intolerant, drank a cup of dog water, but it was like the bottom of the dog water where it was slimy and shit.
Hey, bro, that shit's nasty, bro. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit, nigga. I don't want to hear that shit, fam. I'm straight. I can't even do that, nigga. Let me go ahead and get on. Nigga. That shit. So, nigga, everybody's talking about it. I heard them boys, you know what I'm saying? They ain't want to touch it. And I was like, nigga, me and my niggas going to touch it because we lost literally a co-host over this shit.
Over this fucking thing, bro.
Over this shit.
Now
and
I wish he was still on here so we
and
could
part of me
fucking
wants me to hit my man's
get
up like,
on him
bruh,
right now,
now you see what I was saying? Now you see what I was saying. And look, I'm not going to get too deep because one of the things that I've learned in the last 2 years is tribalism. And as humans, we all suffer from it, right? So you take from that what you want. But, fam, Dr. Bill Cosby was let out of jail.
Free man.
All of his charges dropped.
Can't be charged
with
again.
the statement from the Supreme Court that he should never have been charged and put in jail.
Well, yeah, because he had to deal with the DA to never have to see a day in jail. And
but see, that's where it gets tricky. I'm glad you said it that way because that's the way it's being framed.
Yeah.
But when you go through and you read the fucking facts, it's not that he had a deal because you're a rich, powerful man and you had a deal that you wouldn't go to jail. That sounds like you're fucking guilty or something. The district attorney seen the charges, seen all the evidence, and was like, I'm not trying that.
Yeah.
We're not going to win that, first of all,
right.
and we're probably going to get sued.
The fuck, I ain't
it's
about
written,
to sue the fuck
It's
out
written that he said, it's in document, that he said, not only am I not going forward with charges, further harassment of said individual may lead to significant lawsuit, like, okay, liability. So that's there. Now, why is this important? Because this man's incumbent, who's a Trump enthusiast Republican, right, decides Hey, this is how Trump them do that. First off, I'm just gonna say it. I'm speaking for myself. If you're a Trump enthusiast at this point, you're a fucking racist.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. You've showed your hand. So I'm gonna freely say this. This racist basically was like, Dr. Bill Cosby was once listed as a communist in this country.
Right.
He's not some lovable American dad like they try to frame him now. He was a black, lovable American dad. Black people loved him in that way. And he eventually crossed over and ascended to Jello commercials to where white people knew of him as well. But,
Right.
I mean, Bill Cosby's ours. And that's what I was telling Dio. It was like, bro, hold on. Like,
You can't talk about.
watch how
ours
you're talking
like
about
that.
him.
Right.
And you got to be, you owe it to him to be factual in what you're saying. And if you don't care to get the facts, that's
not
almost
speak on
disrespectful
our
to a
shit.
culture because he's ours.
Yeah.
He's ours.
You
From
have
our
motherfuckers
tribe.
looking at our show fucked up because you over here going in wrong. Like, hold on, man, relax.
And it don't affect you the same.
Right.
Nigga, your dad didn't sit you down and explain to you who Dr. Bill Cosby was to black people in America because that's not your story. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if I'm not willing to stand up for that and speak to that, then who am I? I'm saying that I don't have any culture. And that's a fallacious statement. I do have culture, and I do come from a tribe of people. Now, we have extenuating circumstances to where black natives were mixed in with stolen black Africans, making so-called black African Americans today.
Right.
But that's still us, right? And this man has given over $100 million to educating black kids in America. This man has funded black colleges. He made it cool to go to college when everything in America was telling us to just get a job or to sell crack or to be a singer or a rapper.
Right.
So Dr. Bill Cosby stands for something. And when we get out of line as a culture, he, as an elder, that's what I was trying to explain to Dio, he chastised us.
Check this real quick.
So what happens is you got like all the young black dudes and shit that, oh man, fuck Bill Cosby. See, he was raping them bitches. He's doing all this shit. He a hypocrite. That's an easy, surface level statement based on what you see.
Right.
But we have to remember, and I always fight for this, and that's what we do as new media. We tell the truth, fam. This ain't Disney. This ain't backed by no Republican congressman or money bank. This is just us telling the truth. And I've heard respectable journalists, black and white, Democrat and Republican, say that he admitted that he gave women drugs to rape them. That's a fallacious statement. That never happened.
Right.
And I just was looking into this. So basically, if you go to the transcript, it's like page 128, when he was asked, have you ever distributed drugs with the purpose of having sex with any women? Dr. Bill Cosby said in the 60s and 70s, that was kind of part of the culture. It was all like done deliberately. It was all done consensually. Like, yeah, we would have bowls full of Quaaludes, right? And we would have Quaaludes out, and we would party, and everybody was on them. And what we did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that happened. Because why is he speaking like this? Because he went into an agreement. Because first off, because he's so wealthy and famous, and it takes a hit on his character and on his branding ability, they had to go into litigation because you have to fix this. You can't just say, oh, okay, well, the DA is not trying it. Because then it just looks like you just paid the DA not to try it, and they don't want to try a famous, wealthy celebrity. So when you go to deliberate, like, they're speaking on it, and it's like, okay, so how are we going to get to the bottom of this? Like, you're saying, you're basically in agreement with us that based on the evidence and the stories and the misrepresentations of events that have been proven, there's no way that a respectable district attorney is going to take this to trial, especially against a rich, wealthy celebrity, because he has the resources to fight back. You will lose, and then why wouldn't he sue your ass?
Right.
Because you had no right to go after him in that way regardless. The evidence was there, or lack thereof. Now, I'm willing to say, because I'm a protector of women, that doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't do anything unethical and wrong.
Right.
It just means that based on the evidence, based on the Constitution, he should never have been put in front of a court. Now, they took his statements that was under oath, and because once you go into that kind of agreement, you basically kind of get rid of your Fifth Amendment, right? So the incriminating statements that he made was, hey, were you ever at the Playboy Mansion and with people partying and doing drugs, and was there ever any people underage there? Well, shit. If I'm under oath and I got to tell the truth, or you know what I mean, or I can find myself with significant legal damage, I'm just gonna tell the truth, because after all, it's not like they're trying me for what I did in 1969 when I was at Hugh Hefner's house and Hugh Hefner invited some young bitches over.
Right.
Right? Don't mean that I messed with any of the young girls there. The chick I was in a room with was 22. Right? That we don't know the nuances, but the media had framed it, and especially the Republican conservative leaning media, who's always been at odds with Dr. Bill Cosby and what he represents. Right? These people have always hated the Cosby Show. It goes figure. You think Dr. Bill Cosby's the only black person that can make a respectable show about a black family?
Nope.
He's the only one that got that shit off, and because he got it off, it was successful, and it was hard for them to get it off TV. They've been trying to remove that show from TV for years, and you would think that it was a bad show that made people do drugs and kill themselves.
Right.
Right? Dr. Bill Cosby, in his deposition, he admitted to those things. First off, nigga, having Quaaludes is illegal.
Yeah.
Right? The drugs that he gave Constand, the girl, excuse me, I don't mean to misrepresent her name, is 2.5 Benadryl. Now, they made all the talk about Quaaludes because that's what they do. They put that in your mind. Quaaludes were so dangerous that you can't even get them no more.
Yeah,
right?
Gone.
Now, the case where he went to jail, the crime that he committed allegedly, and the crime that they keep saying that he admitted to during his deposition, he admitted to that when she was at his house, she stayed with him for like 2 or 3 days.
Right.
You make it at what you want. She complained about a headache. He gave her Benadryl. They said how much? She may have taken 2 to 3 to 2.5 tablets all at once. No. Over the course of the 2 or 3 days she was with him.
Right.
Now, allegedly, this man raped you, and he raped you because he got you so drunk off Benadryl. This is a former D1 athlete. This is an athletic director, I believe, or coach or something like that, somebody that worked in the athletic department. She looks very fit. I'm just saying, she's younger than him. She's not 80 like Dr. Bill is.
Right.
So allegedly, that's what the whole crime is. Allegedly, he drugged her with those Benadryl over the course of those 3 days, and that's what happened. Now, she got, during this deposition, because this was the crime that she was alleging, they said, we don't have no evidence of that. The evidence that this is not a case that we can win, right? Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but this is not something that we have enough evidence to take to court.
Exactly.
But because Dr. Bill is wealthy and famous and all this type of shit, this deposition, political shit happens, and she gets a payment. And he said he regrets paying her, but she gets a settlement. She's in her settlement is a non-disclosure agreement. Right? So she violated that. If he wanted to, it's clear as day, he can come after her.
He probably will.
He can come after all those women to the tune of $3.3 million that his estate paid out to alleged victims. Janice Dickinson is on record saying that she lied for money.
Right.
He can come after her. They said he can legally now sue the actual district attorney that violated his civil rights and constitutional rights and knowingly broke the law to cost this man in the twilight of his life 3 years imprisonment and millions of dollars in legal fees, not to count the amount of money he lost in brand power. So it's not the last we've heard of this, but we have a lazy society that if you hear something, it's like the LeBron James thing. Oh, LeBron James is not clutch, but all his numbers say that he's more clutch than Michael Jordan and Kobe. Right? So it's the same thing here. It's like, oh, well, he admitted to it. So even Hope, my nigga Hope called him Pill Cosby. People, Pill Cosby, nigga, they're drugging these bitches like Bill. Because we heard some racist motherfucking news outlets that have never represented us in the right way, that have never told the truth about us. These are the same outlets that said we made up police brutality. And if we pulled our pants up and was just calm and respectful and complied, we wouldn't be in danger. That's a lie. We knew that was a lie. But I don't understand why so many people, especially our people that look like us, is jumping on this, oh, well, he just got it. Like, people are upset that he got out. When it's like, nigga, he should never have been in jail.
Never.
He should never have been in jail. And there's not a like respectable lawyer or judge that won't say to the contrary. Even the ones that are biased against him, they'll just allude to the fact that it was a technicality.
Yep.
Well, it's not a technicality if it shouldn't have never happened. This was a witch hunt. It's been a proven witch hunt. And there you go.
Doc, he about to get so much money from them.
There you
finna
go.
After everybody.
As he should.
Yeah.
I hope he does. Dr. Bill's always been a classy man. I hope he doesn't take the high road on this. Because he's still wealthy as fuck. Mm-hmm. So it's not like he needs anything. I hope he does.
He should just do it to do it.
Let me say this, too. This man had several opportunities to get out of jail. All he had to do is admit to doing it. Mm-hmm. All he had to do is sign up and be willing to be made a sex offender. Now he's 89, nearly 90 years old, a multimillionaire, married to a beautiful woman that's never left his side. There's no reason that really being labeled a sex offender will really like change his life other than the stigma of it. Right? I'm going to say this, man. The jails are full of dudes that didn't do a crime, that took the charge so they can hurry up and get home.
Yep.
When you have a man that's literally losing his sight, caught COVID, in between 80 and 90 years old, right, walks with a cane, went into one of the toughest prison systems in the country and changed lives in there. Helped people get out, helped people get clean, helped people get jobs. And refused. They said he was sleeping in his cell because he refused. He didn't have no TV in his cell. He's rich as fuck. No TV, no commissary, no nothing.
He didn't want to get comfortable.
Said, I'm not going to be comfortable in here because I know what y'all doing to me.
Yep.
I'm a political prisoner. And political prisoners don't get cable television and visits from their family. Right. He didn't let none of his family come see him for 3 years, including his wife. You telling me that's the actions of a guilty man? I'll digress with that because I'm not here to tell any woman that she's lying about her experience. But I'm going to be honest with you, fam. I have consensual sexual experiences of my past that happened 15 years ago that I barely remember.
Yep. Hell
40 years later,
shit.
And you were drugged. All I'm saying is that even if you're telling the truth, there's got to be some discrepancies in your story. Yep. Like I don't know if I can trust your story 40 years later, and you were so drugged, fam. 40 years ago, to be a white woman and say that Bill Cosby raped her, you'd be on the cover of Time magazine.
Right.
You'd be one of the ones. That's what I'm saying. Like you didn't even have to have proof back then.
Nope.
All you needed was proof that you was with him. 40 years ago, this world assumed that every black man would rape any white girl they could if they got a chance to. Mm-hmm. That's a stereotype that goes against black men towards white women dating back to the very first movie ever made. Right? So it's just crazy to me that, like, I just don't think it. I've seen it. I've seen wealthy black people get shunned and screwed by this government and the process, just like poor black people. This is, to me, another example of that. Now, if he didn't have the millions of dollars, he would still be in jail because he wouldn't have the money to put pressure on them to follow the law.
Right.
And he refused all the deals, man, where they tried to make it sweet and try to, smooth it over. No, you took 3 years of my life. I heard his lawyer say earlier today that he's pissed off about that, and I was proud. I'm proud of that. Hey, ATS supports all women. We support all women and men that have fell victim to sexual abuse.
But what we don't do is we don't condone women or men who falsely say something happened to them for either publicity, payoff, or anything of the sort. Because fuck even just women. Go to fucking Jesse Smollett and the stupid fucking shit he did. All because you're about to lose your contract through Op Empire.
Racism and rape.
Like, come on, bro.
Hey, the two R's. Racism and rape is not something to play with, man.
Period.
It's not something to play with.
Like I said, that's men. I gave you a woman example. I gave you a man example.
Person of color and a person of non-color.
Person of color and person of non-color.
That's not what we're talking about. This isn't Dr. Bill Cosby's black and he's big in black America, so yeah, he's out.
Look at Jesse.
Hey, man, I was raised by women. If Dr. Bill Cosby was guilty for doing these things, then he should be in jail.
But look at the fucking witch hunt niggas went on with Michael Jackson, who was not here to fucking defend himself, because you could not put him in jail no matter how many fucking cases and how many people you tried to get and turn and pay off to get to say
you see what his lawyer said,
bro.
You know what I mean? So
To the point where when he died, Jesse Jackson had to say, "Your father was not a weird man. The shit they did to him was weird."
right, right, and that's facts. And look, dog, like
Any powerful
most
because
decent people will agree
hold
with
on
that.
real quick. Look how powerful Michael Jackson was. You're talking about the epitome of music at that point. All genres of music. Every tour he did sold out in minutes. Nigga, from the day that he started to the day that this nigga died,
No.
his tours, the tour he put on when he was dying had to extend itself by 3 months because he couldn't accommodate
dates.
everybody that wanted to see him, bro.
Yeah, because of the dates. But and that's dope. That's a great point.
And look
But
what
I
they
want to
did
stay
to
on Bill.
look what they did to that man. I'm just going on. Look what the government and white people tried to do.
And
to
this is my
man.
thing. Like, what I get annoyed with is the woeful ignorance of the people that just that fall for this bullshit.
Right.
Like, man, the deposition is public record. So all these women, like the lawyer, the female lawyer that it turns out that she works for the federal government, and she kind of coattails as like a feminist. But if you go deep in her, it was her Constant or whatever her name is. Like, there's some slants there. There's some shit that's kind of unethical, and you'd be looking at her like, wait, you did this? Like, you did that? You can't stand for women and then be also a component of like, let's use this woman to get one up on this man or on this corporation, or let's use a woman's issue. It's like a person that says they're a friend of the American black person and their struggles, but they go home or they go to the boardroom at their job and agree with systemically making sure that the black person doesn't get the job, or that they don't hire too many people that don't look like them, or they're, whatever it is. It's just, you have to stand for something, right? Or fall for what?
Everything.
And I'm not afraid of this because I know where I lie. I know what side I'm on. I know that women have been in the company of me with a lot of men, a lot of drugs and alcohol and partying, and they felt safe.
Right.
Right? But, fam, I'm not about to sit here and act like I'm too much of a gentleman to say when I think some shit got a slant to it and I feel like some groupies that came and tried to like team up and get some bread. Because I'm going to just say this, man. That's the easiest play in the world. A famous man, white or black, a group of women saying that he all did something to him, we all going to listen to him.
Right.
Because it's rigged to us. But why don't we make it in society that if these women are found to be not truthful,
they got to go to prison.
That there's a fucking crime for that. Maybe there's not the same crime and punishment as if you raped a person, but shit, grand larceny pay
Count
what?
a
Like,
year.
how much you got? Yeah, like that should at least be on your character record. Like,
Right.
hey man, she's capable of lying,
Right.
and saying someone harmed her when they didn't. Right? Judge Joe Brown brought up a good case. He said a good point. He said back in the day, it was a time that they held, and he's a judge, so he can speak from this. The person that went to the bar and got drunk and got inebriated, everything that they did from that moment on, they were liable for. Right. So, unfortunately, if you're a young lady and you went out to the bar and you got shit-faced, blacked out, which we know a lot of women that do that on every weekend, right? And God bless them. Luckily, a lot of them, haven't.
This happened,
right? But a lot of times, sometimes maybe it has, and we just don't know about it.
Right.
But the lesson in that is it was a time where society made women and young men, like if you were a young man, and you went out and got faded and ended up getting a sexual situation that you didn't want to, you couldn't.
You were being held.
You were liable
for
it. Just the way you are when you go out and you have too many drinks and you kill someone, right? Now I understand it's different, but what we need to get to a point is that partying with celebrities, partying with men, period, don't always have to come with being drunk. Don't always have to come with being on drugs. And I would say all of these young dudes that talk about popping perks and Xannies and shit like that, all the females that y'all got with y'all, rallying you on, the groupies.
They're killing you.
40 years from now, are you Bill Cosby?
Right.
40 years from now, because you are. Shit, this shit got me looking at my life. Nigga, we used to throw a lot of parties, fam.
That's why I'm glad I smoked
40 years from now, One of them, we doing something with our life. We in this position. We this and they and that and there's some witch hunts going on, and it's like, yo, this is what we about to do. Cause she knows that if I just come with one client and it's an iffy story, that's a weak case. But if I come with fucking 15, 20, 30 of them, we just seen this with T.I. and Tiny. Like, do I really believe that T.I. and Tiny was going around the country raping bitches? I don't believe that.
Not at all.
But I've kicked it with celebrities, and I've kicked it on tour, so I know what happens. I know that when you're of a certain level and you're having a good vibe in a strip club, you just holler at the manager and be like, "Yeah, I want to take a few. We're gonna go back." And next thing you know, you got 20 of them or so, 15. Y'all coming back? We going here, right? Now, if me and you at the motherfucking strip club, we gotta wait for these bitches to get off, or we gotta wait for these bitches to clock out. They gotta just leave the job if they want to leave with us, and they
Right.
probably gonna be like, "Oh, meet us over here."
Yep.
Right? Because it's a whole issue with that. But if we're T.I. and we're Tiny and we known to, like, you know, my wife and I share things every once in a while. We catch a vibe. We go to the strip club. We kick it. Well, nigga, this is what happens when you're wealthy and you're famous. Because you can go, 20 of them girls go back to the mansion with you. They turn up. Everybody have fun, right? You don't know what everybody did. You just know what the two girls that made it to your bedroom with you and your wife did. But the security guard that had a bitch and your other homie that had a bitch, you don't know what happened with them. The next day, everybody got compensated what they were promised, and everybody's gone. And now you and your wife are maybe in Miami instead of Atlanta, and y'all running back in a hotel suite, right? And then y'all go to Vegas. Where everywhere you go is going to be a strip club, and everywhere you go is going to be some bitches. So if you like bitches and strip clubs and you got money, that's how it becomes international sex ring and sex trafficking.
Right.
Because all it takes is for one of those girls to have gotten on that private jet with you and, oh, we going to go to Vegas and kick it. And my wife like her, so nigga, this is our little weekend. We going to have a getaway. So you going to be our little girlfriend for the weekend. You come with us. And it was all consensual. But now, nigga, I mean, it's been a couple years, whoop, 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 and I get the phone call like, girl, we might can get some bread. And we all join the complaint. All of them aren't even telling their story. It's just a complaint. So now it's just alleged that over 20-something women are saying that T.I. is saying, okay, well, who got raped?
Right.
And when did that happen? And where was the police report?
Where's the rape kit?
Hey,
all
fam,
that shit?
if a racist cop punches me in my face because I failed to yield at a stop sign, spits in my face, walks off and calls me a nigger, I don't have no fucking cry if I don't go right to the police station. If I don't get home, wipe his saliva out of my fucking face, get over my emotions, nigga, and call 911 and be like, yo, I want to report an incident. It's unfair.
Right.
It's unfortunate. Protect women. I'll say it again. Protect women. But women, help us protect you. Because, fam, way too many women in our society get Google-eyed for celebrity. Right? They're trying to introduce a law that says now you can rape a woman. And I'm going to get off this because I don't want to sound like I'm anti-rape laws and shit, nigga. Throw them all away. But by seduction. You know what that means, right?
Oh, God.
That's what we're talking about, in my opinion, with this T.I. shit and possibly with this Cosby shit. It's the fact that when you were young and lustful and in a certain mindset, you became sexualized by a certain individual. And yeah, it's disrespectful because he don't love you.
Right.
He don't cherish you. No matter how intimate you try to play up your one night stand with Chris Brown it
was not that anything
he fucked
like
you.
that to him.
He fucked you and kept it moving. No matter how intimate, like, you try to make it feel, fam. Like, he ain't never talking to you again, probably. And he's probably not even going to be in that city no more. So, do you think it was that sensual and intimate to him?
No, not even a little.
He was vibing.
Because
right?
they're sexual. We're normal niggas.
Right.
And there's been sexual where, like, bitches
and
all the
come
way
on,
into
fam.
it. And we're like, bitch,
whatever.
I'm never calling
right.
you
I'm not even calling you no more. And he's vibing, right? So, now, put this celebrity shit into it. You know, you have these women that go through this. They're saying that if you take a woman out and you got a Lambo, you in a Bentley truck, you got a Cuban link on with nigga VVS joints on it, nigga. You got a big boy watch on, right? You got your beard all nice, nigga. You got the nicest hat. You geared up, right? You somebody. Oh, they like you. You're a famous podcaster, right? You're an athlete. You're a star. You're a movie star. the aura of being around you is somewhat intoxicating, is the argument. And just the sheer fact that you're acknowledging me and interacting with me makes me vulnerable and susceptible for you to take advantage of me. Get the fuck out of here. Celebrities aren't God. They don't have special powers. That's on because what's the difference between a fucking superstar varsity basketball player or the coolest rapper at school that just signed a deal, right? And his album coming out, nigga, when he graduate, or this nigga that's going to the NBA like LeBron, everybody knew. So you telling me every girl that LeBron fucked in high school, he seduced her, say like she could say that he raped her?
Right, that's out of pocket.
Because he was the number one, like, oh my God, so many celebrities, so much celebrity. I was just nigga, that didn't take your panties off. You took your panties off.
Right.
Did you say stop? No, I don't want to do this.
Right.
We're blurring the lines here, man, and I think that it takes away from real sex victims. There's too many women that are experiencing the nightmare of being raped to be caught up in incidences where women 40 years later that keep and look, you might be fucking your story up because it was 40 years ago, but that's part of my point. What's that shit called? Statute of limitations? It sounds fucked up when you say it, right? Yeah. Especially when we talking about what we talking about. But fam, it's like if I did any other crime, like the only crime I think that doesn't have statute of limitations is murder. Mm-hmm. But even murder got double jeopardy, nigga. Like,
so that's his case. Huh? So this is Cosby's.
Right. But like, because of the way it was allocated. But I vindicated. But what I'm just saying is that even if you murder somebody, right?
If you're acquitted, they can never.
You get acquitted for the shit.
Without new evidence.
Without new evidence. It's very hard for them to get you again. Yeah. So it's just one of those things where I'm just like, man, I don't want to bring my sensitivity about race into it and my insecurities. But sometimes I feel like every fucking time a black American of stature is afforded the rights of the Constitution and the law in ways that's unpopular by the masses, mainly like white American masses, it's an issue. It's an issue.
It always will be, though.
OJ, and I ain't saying OJ did it or didn't do it. I'm saying his ass got acquitted.
Yep.
And that cost him 20-something years, 15-something years in prison because a fucking white woman was mad that he got acquitted and felt like he was guilty of something that happened in another state. So she just trumped up his charges and was like, nigga, we gonna get you for this over here.
Yeah, that's exactly what that bitch did.
And everyone knows it. But fam, George Zimmerman gets off, and it's like, oh, well, sorry, I mean, shit, he got off. And they just treat him like he's innocent. He's just treated like he's innocent. You got off. All these cops that kill black people and get jobs to go back to work. The nigga that killed Sandra Bland is back on the police force.
Hey, hold on. We ain't got to talk about this yet, but Derek Chauvin's bitch ass. Let me go ahead and get a round of applause for the fucking justice system.
He's going to be out in 8 years.
Doing something. It did something.
Yeah. All right. I mean.
You think he'll get out, Nate?
Well,
he's up for parole.
Unfortunately, I have a little knowledge of prison sentences, and unfortunately, I just know people and family members. Like, Nick, I can't think of nobody in my family that's done time in the penal system ever thought. Even Judge Joe Brown and Judge Mathis stated this on the time when they came to them, thinking that they were going to be like, "Oh yeah, man, these are two men that actually they're not pastors, they're not politicians, they're judges, nigga." They both was just like, it's not a steep enough sentence. Shame on that judge, because she could have went to 30. The 30 would have gave him a steep sentence. Like, you're going to be in here for at least over 10 years.
Yeah.
Bro, he was in jail for nearly a year. They're going to give him time served. He's going to be on best behavior. He's going to be PC'd up. And he's a cop. And all he did was kill a Negro. They're not good. Dog, he'll be out. And everybody I talked to broke it down to where it's just like, dog, you get time off of this, like this. He'll be out in 6 or 7 years. And it's the judge, that same judge is going to be the one to decide.
His parole.
Come on, fam. Come on.
It doesn't matter. We still got fucking conviction.
The conviction, look, the conviction serves in the fact that, like, in my opinion, there's a bozo, bloodthirsty, racist cop out there. It may make him think twice about doing something. Because, yes, somebody actually did get tried and found guilty for doing this. But whereas before that had never happened. It was always that if I'm a cop, I can kill a Negro, which is why so many Nazis and skinheads and neo-Nazi white supremacists joined the police force over the last 10, 15 years. That was a report that Eric Holder, the first black attorney general, and fucking Barack Obama said. They had the evidence. They had access to the research and the document and the numbers and the data. And they said, "Oh, this is what's going on, and we have to be wary of that." That's why Ferguson damn near lost their police department.
Yeah.
Because they proved that it was a racist organization. All it did was pull black people over in the next city over. It was 92% white. The city that it patrolled was over 78% African American. And the only people that was going to jail and getting fucking tickets for speeding and shit like that was black people. Damn near no white people in fucking Ferguson, Missouri ever got arrested for speeding, a speeding ticket or nothing, it seemed like, based on the numbers. So we know these things happen. I just don't understand how people can see, like, you get a motherfucker like Nancy Graves, like, oh, he admitted that, and that's not true. And you can read right here, like, on this right here, line 128, when they asked that question, he said no to that. That's why he made that statement. I stand by everything I said, and you all can go back and read the paper. Even under oath, when I said incriminating statements, I told the truth.
Right.
I said incriminating statements. I got $1 million attorneys, nigga, and raised my right to the Fifth Amendment. And they used that particular, like, document to be like, see, he's admit, you know what I mean? It was just a complete witch hunt. That nigga's gonna sue everybody. The judge, all the motherfuckers need to get sued. The Supreme Court overturned that shit. Like, fam, what are y'all doing down there?
Yeah.
You can't do that shit.
What the fuck is y'all doing down there?
You niggas is out there foul as fuck. What y'all doing down there?
Fuck out right now. Bill Cosby, my nigga. Bill, y'all. That's who you decide.
Fam, the thing is,
the nigga to get us all fired.
Fam, this could be the thing. That's what I'm saying. I know that a lot of certain people are mad because they're like, well, see, now the shit didn't work, and now what your plan is?
Now niggas gonna get fired.
Because nigga, some of you motherfuckers might even fuck around and get criminally charged. Because what you did was criminal. You violated his rights knowingly. And for the purpose of getting elected. And the niggas bragged about it like I promised, Bill Cosby's in jail. It was a campaign election. You were a Trumpian-style politician just throwing some shit at the wall. Oh, that'll get these racist motherfuckers riled up. Nigga, I'm going to go put Bill Cosby in jail. He's a rapist. And I'll leave it with this. And I don't mean this with no disrespect. And I don't mean this with no racism in my heart. Based on my history in this country, what I've learned and what I know about my country and this history, fam, I don't think that just any time a white woman says a black dude raped her, she should be so credible.
Right. Yeah, because what?
It sounds fucked up.
Central Park 5?
Right. But not even just that. Emmett Till, I mean, nigga, he supposedly whistled at her. She's on her deathbed, nigga, the bitch admits that she made the shit up. Right? After she was found guilty, and it could have got tried, but the judge, once again, these judges, these gatekeepers of justice, said that she was too old to serve out a sentence. Bill Cosby wasn't too old, though.
Nope.
Right? So they pick and choose in this way. Rosewood, Florida, a whole black town, eviscerated because a white woman that was having an affair on her husband got caught by a Negro slave that worked nearby in the black town or in the white town but lived in the black town. And she was fearful that he was going to, gossip about it and spread word. And he did work with her husband. She didn't know what to make of it. So she just lied and said that he raped her. I mean, hundreds of black people, women, children, were murdered because of this. I mean, this Black Wall Street, their favorite one to talk about, Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? The city of Tulsa is basically Greenwood. Greenwood was a founded black town by black people. It had many shopping malls, universities, schools, factories, warehouses, parks, all that. Back then, it was a that's why they called it Black Wall Street. It was something like a New York City almost, right there in Oklahoma. The city have stolen that land from those people over the course of years. Greenwood, the section now that they give it, for the historic reference, it's just probably like pretty much a small. It looks like a smaller town, but basically all of Tulsa, Oklahoma used to be Greenwood. They killed thousands of black people. Some of the lasting
Bomb
survivors.
that shit.
It's the only American city that's ever been bombed outside of actually Hawaii, right? But bombed by Americans,
Yeah, bombed by
by its own people.
own people.
So we don't teach that history enough, but that's there. That's realistic, and that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a real thing. That's there. That all started because a white woman said that a black man from that town tried to make an advance at her.
Yep.
And I'm just saying, bro, like, we just keep seeing it. What's the movie about the football player where the white girl, he's all American, about to go on his way, and the white lady says, the white girl says that he raped her, and then it comes out that she didn't, that he lied. She lied about it. She admitted it later.
I forgot what movie. I know.
This motherfucker was on his way to the NFL. He went to the pen. And they made a movie about it. Like, it's a good thing. Oh, you got a movie.
Oh, you're talking about the dude from Baylor.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I mean, the list just keeps on going. Kobe Bean Bryant, God rest his soul,
Yeah.
was accused of viciously raping a white girl. Turns out not only did he not rape her, she had sex with 3 to 4 other men that same day. Now, that don't mean that she couldn't have got raped.
But it was.
But what is credibility? The fuck is it for?
Right.
Why is niggas out here being credible? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that. I don't mean that in disrespect. I know a lot of beautiful motherfucking white women that would never. And I'm not generalizing. I'm just saying stereotypically. Like, that's some shit that, like, honestly, when I hear that as a black American man, I'm just always kind of sit back and be like, I've dealt with this. I've seen this. I don't know. That's kind of a, like, built-in excuse. Like, it's weird. Let's just wait
But
this
then,
thing
okay,
out.
and then let's
wait
be
this
real.
thing out.
Why? And then, like, why don't anybody go as hard for this for black women who get raped? Because I'm sure the statistics show black women get raped at the same fucking rate, if not more.
Yeah, because there's
but
not
we're
so
not
much of
gonna
an
put
outrage.
it in nobody's face because it's black women.
Yeah, because you know Harvey Weinstein forced himself on the young lady that played in Black Panther.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's barely spoken about when you start talking about his victims. They bring up all the other women and
Fucking Brock Turner rapes the black girl behind the dumpster. Nothing.
nothing, bro. They going harder on a shorty for smoking weed than they went for Brock Turner.
We're not talking about that today.
Oh no, yeah, that opens up a whole nother term. Shit.
Cause fuck Tokyo.
Fam, I feel like all
Commission.
black athletes should boycott the USA Olympic team. That's just me.
Yeah.
But it's hard to tell a kid that's been working his ass off to be a sprinter, because when you're in track and fields, that's it.
But it ain't hard to
Really.
tell LeBron and them who ain't making a dime from this and get paid
Hey,
millions.
and
and
why do you
millions
think the
of
NBA
dollars
had a
just-
problem? Was noticing like, damn, all the big dogs ain't coming.
Yep.
I firmly believe that's why Steph Curry and niggas like that ain't going. I really believe
Yeah,
that.
because why wouldn't they go winning for the everybody?
Steph Curry
wants
don't
it.
even have a gold,
All
and he
right.
said, "I wanted to go. That's the last thing I'm missing." But when Japan made that statement,
No
hey,
Black Lives Matter.
first off, man,
clothing, that
Black
shit-
Lives Matter and
Bitch.
protesting over here is a way of life.
Yeah.
And everybody fucking wants America's help when they need a fucking handout, when they need support. They love Americans then. But this is not a political thing. This is a human rights issue.
Right.
We're talking about our human rights over here.
But when we over here going hard for Asia and shit,
Right.
that's all cool, fine and dandy.
Right.
But
Dog,
fuck
there's
all,
not a
fuck
black
Black
person I
Lives
know
Matter.
that is anti-Asian.
Right.
So, and when dog, there were several black elected officials that fought, pushed, and signed on for that anti-Asian hate crime bill. Meanwhile, 500 years later, of the most hideous, harmful shit ever done to one particular group of humans by anybody, we can't even get an anti-lynching bill. Yeah. Ted Cruz fucked that up for us.
Yeah.
Huh? What do you mean with America's history towards Negroes, what do you mean there's no anti-lynching bill? And what do you mean there's no anti-racial profiling bill? That should be one of the first things you did when you freed slaves, is make it illegal to racially profile them. You can't teach white people that we're less than their fucking dog for 400 years and think that 200 years later they're just going to see us as a fucking equal. Why would they do that? That don't make sense. So it becomes like, who's pulling these strings? Who's furthering this shit? When you start talking about a critical race theory.
I know. When the Olympics started already, didn't they?
Yeah, fam. Because you know my boy, shout out to my boy Dave Finster, man. He's a teacher in Oakland at the Oakland Unified School District, but he used to teach in Reno.
Right.
This nigga sent me this link of Washoe County. Shout out to those 5 to 7 white people that was holding black people down because, unfortunately, in Reno, this is my problem with the community out there. No black person in Reno was at this fucking city hall meeting when they're basically debating if they're gonna even make it to where they have to teach our history to white people. It's more important than, look, if anybody needs to learn black history, it's not black people will benefit the most from it, but white people need to learn that shit. If white people knew that majority of the black people that they look at and think that their ancestors went over there and brung them over here were actually from America, like white people love Native American culture. If they knew that most Native Americans at one point in time looked like us within our skin tone range and got pushed into slavery in their own home country with a group of Africans that they wasn't even relative to, like, what are you talking about? Like, but nobody cares about that story because we're black people and they think they know our story because they've seen a few slave movies that were written and directed by white people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Nat Turner's the first slave movie that a black person got to produce and put out. And they bashed it. Mm-hmm. They pulled it out of certain theaters. Because God forbid the descendant of a slave tell you what they learned from their history and their people about what happened.
Right.
And about where they come from. And about these things. Dog, it's a reason why most Africans come to America and don't identify African Americans as Africans. Because they're not learning this racist white shit in Africa. They know that a group of Africans migrated to the Americas thousands of years ago. Where'd they go?
Right.
Oh, they're still here. That's all I'm saying. 2 things, and I'll get off this. Just looking this up, and that's crazy I got this right here. And we'll get back on to some other shit and we can write whatever. But just because I stumbled on this, I'm going to bring this shit up, fam. Because your boy got high. And when I get high, I'll be reading shit. And you know how I do. You ever wonder, damn, we talk about it, but do you really believe that the Pilgrims murdered all the Indians? Like, okay, slavery was brutal, and we understand, like, that the European race had did some heinous things, but so did the African race to people. So did the Asian race, right? I'm not ignorant. But I always in school was just like, it's just not likely to me that all those so-called native tribes just got murdered, right? Like, I know a lot of native blood was spilt in this land, but native blood doesn't say black, white, Hispanic, or Native American, right? That just says that you were natives to this land. Hey, it was a time that Mexico wasn't Mexico. It was North America. Mm-hmm. Brazil wasn't Brazil, nigga. It was South America. It still is. These are man-made names and borders. These names didn't come with the land. So 1,000 years ago, when my ancestors was roaming around the North Americas after migrating from Africa, they shared it with people that are now called Mexicans. They shared it with people that are now called Indians. We know it's documented when Europeans came over here. So that's one thing. I always thought in history, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. That's a lot of murder. Like, I don't even think that's possible to kill off all those people. And I used to always think it was crazy. Fam, I'm from New York City where they have the Macy's Day Parade. Fam, I always thought it was weird that they would have to use like Puerto Ricans and shit and dress them up as Indians. It'd be like 5 Indians and like a couple Puerto Ricans and shit. I'm not even trying to be funny. Right. I always thought it was weird that, damn, in a place that these people were supposedly indigenous to alone, it's sure not a lot of them, because you go to most cities and shit like that, a lot of people, especially in the urban area, they don't have any Native American friends. They don't be around Native Americans like that. Most Native Americans walking around American society that's calling themselves natives look white. Let's just face it. Not when you go to Reno, Nevada, and you're living in a city that has a reservation there, you know native people.
Right.
When the Paiute tribes and shit and Truckee, all that shit is all around Nevada, you going through, you see native culture. Oh, these are real. These are not only real native. They're real natives, right? So you see that, fam. When you get to like, and I'm not saying that there's no natives in Texas. I'm not saying that there's no natives in Chicago. I'm not saying that there's no natives in New York.
Detroit.
Or Detroit.
Miami.
Or Miami.
Well, no, Miami does.
Right?
They have the Seminoles.
I know.
There's a big.
Let's hold on, but we're gonna get to that.
Right.
I'm glad you said that, fam. The shit gets deep because there's small pockets around the country of, and I'm just using this for this conversation only, of so-called Native Americans.
Right.
They don't call the Mexicans that keep coming back over here Native Americans, even though they were here before any European person.
Right.
You don't know the spiritual, social, religious connection they have to California, Arizona, or Nevada. They might be like, no, nigga, I'm going to die there with my ancestors.
Right, exactly, yeah.
I'm going home, right? There's a tribe of people that are black. Everybody calls them black people, right? They speak Spanish in their native tribal languages, whatever, but they kind of reside between the American border and the Mexican border, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what I'm getting to. So I came across this shit, and I really just did this just to tell you. I was going to tell you this shit off camera, but it goes with our conversation. So there was a writer in 1821 by the name of John Swanton, and he wrote about a Native American tribe, a vast Native American tribe. The section in which they cohabitated ranged from the Floridian Keys to like Louisiana, all throughout that shit, what we call the bayous now, right? This is a book from 1821. He was writing about the Metro Atlanta Creek Indians. The Creek Indians. Dark brown skin. They had very okay, so the what his description of these people was, they're dark brown, they look African, right?
Mm-hmm.
Europeans had already seen Africans. So when they got to the North Americans and shit like that and seen Africans, they was just like, yo, what the fuck's going on? But they recognized them as like another tribe of Africans. But they're Indians, just like the other Indians running around. They had a lot of the same traditions, same practices, etc. And was already had working relationships. The Creek Indians were black people that were in the Georgia, Florida, Louisiana area. It was a lot of them. One of the things that they were known for, as he observed them, was debating and arguing passionately.
Mm-hmm.
From the high chief to just regular men, guys would get together and just be arguing about shit, debating. This is what they did for sport. Sound familiar?
Barbershop.
Right. I'm glad you said that, brother. Then they had great traditions of antiquity, right, in rhythm and in chants. Also, dancing and physical exercise are held in high honor, right? And for some odd reason, he noticed that these people were passionately fond of ball games. Pause. Right? Dog, when I read that shit, I got chills. I was like, oh, so all this. I read a book called They Came Before Columbus, talks about the same thing, about this black African presence of by the millions that was in the Americas when Europeans got over here.
I never
right?
thought that Indians and Europeans were the first people to ever be here, bro.
So when you think about this, dog, like there's evidence out there. There's a lot of evidence. Excuse me. In this very book, he writes about a find in Georgia, and they call it Metro Atlanta, which is where like Atlanta, Georgia is right now. Mm-hmm. It's funny that black people love to go to Atlanta, and it's been like that way before Atlanta even got all the way popping. It was like a hub for where black people went to kick it and vacation. But moving along, there's a famous lake, Lake Lemire, in Georgia, right outside of Atlanta. Right, all the ballers get a house out there by the lake. That lake was a black town. It was a black native tribal town that they flooded them, and literally like that lake under it is buried is the town. So it's just all kind of little things out there. These Creek Indians would get this certain wood. I can't think of the name of it, but because they were like, around the bayous and stuff like that, they would bury their dead in one big grave and then literally like almost like stuff the body like on top of each other. They would stack them. Boom, 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 boom. So they recently found, in doing like a development, they found some of these grave sites. They've tested these people. They're Negroes. Right. They're black people. And when you start talking about the critical race theory, fam, you don't see Native Americans right now like at an alarming rate getting murdered by the police officer. Part of that is because maybe they have their own police on their reservations and things like that. You don't see anybody else getting lynched in modern day time or in the past at the rate of black Americans. They were calling us natives. They were calling us Indians. And it's like another thing. I'm not going to get too deep into this, but I'll tell you off air. What was it? So in that book, they also feel like it's a theory. It's a hypothesis of what America was called. Because you have Costa Rica, right? And then what's the other Rica? Costa Rica, and then it was like, I think it's Puerto Rico. And then this was like, they say that America was once referred to as like Ame-Sol. And what it was like, it meant like it was a duality of French and Spanish. With what those people called us here was that it was the land was Ame-Sol, and it meant rich coast, wealthy people. You know what I'm saying? So Ame-Sol was basically like, it just makes sense when you think about that shit. Like, who made up soul music? No black person ever said, "Oh, this is soul music." Right. That's what a white person said about it. So that's in line with the French and the Spanish that was coming over, naming Africa as Africanist, right? Naming, like, even in our history today, it's kind of like a weird tradition. Black people will make something. Like, none of those black kids in the Bronx or in Brooklyn, New York, Queens, or some shit like that was like, "Yo, this shit we doing, we should call it hip hop." That was like a white writer or whoever the fuck it was. I was like, "Yo, that little hip hop shit that they do, it's some music." Like, they started calling it jazz music, same thing. Rock and roll, same thing. So it's all based in tradition, man. But I ain't want to go down that rabbit hole too much longer, man. Well, just a little quick history lesson. I'll clean that shit up, man, and do a live about it or something, man, because the shit was pretty deep. And we're in the information era. So a lot of this shit is just coming out. You know what I mean? It's just coming out. That makes those reparations cases, which shout out to California. California is actually working on reparations for its black residents now. So,
well, you might need to move to California.
Hey, man, don't trip. They pass it. Every nigga's probably moving to California. And that's why they gonna make it to where everybody get some bread. Like,
we're gonna re-gentrify California.
We out there.
Nothing but niggas.
Shit. Like, we out here, man.
Oh man. Shout out to
Manhattan Beach. Just got turned over to its rightful owners, which was a group of black descendants. Manhattan Beach was an exclusive black resort town that was literally compensated and taken. I didn't mean to cut you off, but since we was on that, now we off that.
All right, nigga. Shout out to motherfucking Phoenix Suns, though, nigga.
Shout out to CP3.
About to get his first chip.
Hey, man, and shout out to the Clippers for making me look like a fucking genius.
Clippers are
choke
garbage,
boys.
nigga.
Choke boys, man.
Skip Bayless better. Just
Hey, the funny
stop
thing
that
is, fam,
fucking Clippers talk. That shit's
look,
so
and I'm gonna say it
over
on
with
our
now,
show.
bro.
I'm gonna say it on our show. I felt Kawhi. I'm talking to you, nigga. I felt like you could have played.
You're garbage, Kawhi.
I felt like you could have played, fam.
You're a good
I've
basketball
had a sprained
player,
knee.
but you don't.
Without the resources, fam.
I don't feel like he got that champion blood in him.
I don't feel like Kawhi. I
Ever.
feel like Kawhi fucked around and just happened to be on two good teams that won championships, and because he's a stat stuffing star, like he fucked around and got the MVP. But I'm just being honest with you. I look at Kawhi and fam,
Who
I'm
got
like,
the MVP? Oh, Jokic, didn't he? Yeah, Nikolai Jokic got MVP.
I feel like
this year.
Kawhi don't. I feel like, look, man, a long time ago, I had a coach that told me about jersey wears. I feel like Kawhi Leonard is a nigga that plays ball because he liked it at one point in time. He was good at it, and boom, it makes him a lot of money. I don't feel like he's a hooper like that. I don't feel like he loves basketball.
I feel like it's really a job to him.
Yeah, because he treats it like that. He was
Yeah.
grumpy as fuck. He got all these stipulations. I don't want to practice. I don't want to play back-to-backs. I don't want to live in the city that I play for. I'm going to live in San Diego, and y'all niggas just got to fly me in on a chopper every day, even though I'm going to make y'all late for road trips and shit.
Is
like
that really what he?
Yes,
that's his
nigga.
rule?
He
don't
had his
live-
own locker room. Like, all these
He has
things
his
are
own
– he
locker
had his
room?
own locker room. Dog, so Ty Lue came in and, like,
He's a garbage.
coattailed some of those things. But I'm like, fam. Now, Michael Jordan had his own locker room, but that's MJ at least.
I didn't know he did either.
Dickhead move, but at least that's MJ. He had his own little private quarter in the locker room. Now, I can argue that was probably because of logistics. Because, nigga, if you remember, when Michael got to his locker, nigga, like every sports outlet was there.
Yeah, right.
So for room and space and privacy or whatever, maybe that was what I don't know. But it's a little iffy because, nigga, they was doing that shit to Scotty and Dennis Rodman and them, too. They ain't had their own shit. But anytime you a franchise player, you already making more money than everybody else, fam.
And now, the rest of your team got to play harder than you, and
Like,
you
fam,
make the
if
most.
you don't get your motherfucking ass in here and change with us, nigga, pause.
Bitch ass nigga.
Who the fuck is you, nigga?
He's soft. Nah, Kawhi Leonard's soft.
taking-
nigga.
You taking a helicopter here, nigga, and just so to get the plane. Like, you live in San Diego, fam. We play for the Clippers. Staples Center, San Diego. That's a long drive.
Yep.
So even if it's just like, yo, we LAX, nigga, we got to go catch this jet, nigga, to go to the Knicks. Oh, why can't we leave yet? We got to wait on Kawhi. I mean, like, that's why Lou Will's gone. That's why Doc Rivers got fired. And that's why Montrezl Harrell's gone. Because they were, like, there before Kawhi got there. They made it to the playoffs with no superstars and was like, yo, that's not how we do things here. We outwork people. Mm-hmm. We have good camaraderie. We play for each other.
Hey, but Phoenix, don't get it twisted. A healthy LA team, not Clippers. Lakers, y'all wouldn't be
that
there
was just
right
fake.
now.
And the thing is, as much as I want, I always want to see my nigga LBJ get another one. I'm glad. I'm glad that Chris Paul got a chance to get one because he deserves it, fam. And I ain't want to be arguing with some motherfucker like 5, 10, 20 years from now, nigga, and they be telling me Chris Paul ain't nice because he ain't got no ring.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I think it might be a wrap for LeBron.
Oh, I don't think that at all, buddy.
I think his body is going to start shutting down at an alarming rate. I think he's been good and strong for so long. I think we're gonna start seeing a lot more injuries from him. And I hope not. Let me knock on wood. I don't want this to happen to
I feel
him.
you, and I see why. Because what you're saying is it's never happened before. You've never seen nobody be this good this long in basketball. It's never happened, or any professional sport.
Right.
But
I mean,
the reason why I say
hold on. Not any even Tom. Mr. Brady ain't had no injuries either, really.
Yes, he has. He's had an injury.
But small, like the same as LeBron.
No,
He'll have
nigga,
not
Tom
small.
Brady
He'll have
missed the whole season because of a knee injury, bro. What are you talking about?
when?
You don't remember when motherfucking Matt Castle?
And then he came back and lost the Super Bowl or some shit.
So all I'm saying is this, like, and it's different because it's funny because Tom Brady was just talking to LeBron about this on the shop. Tom Brady was even saying why he like LeBron, you can be the GOAT. I can never be the GOAT because nigga, I play quarterback.
That's real.
Like
you got protect. It's different.
Like,
it's a way different
play
game.
20 years playing quarterback and it's illegal to tackle you.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
fam? Like,
you can barely tackle a quarterback these days without catching a
You're
flag.
not even like Joe Montana era where quarterbacks was getting fucked up.
Out you, nigga.
You're
not even Brett Favre era, the
right.
last era of niggas getting fucked up, nigga.
So you really in that era where because of you got hurt and missed the whole season, they made it to where it's like, nope, You can't lead with your head. You can't target. What do you mean I can't target him? I'm targeting him. I need to
I
tackle
want
him.
to smack the shit out
Right?
of him.
Yeah, no. This nigga's about to shred me. And he said that. He said because of some of the rules changes, he's like, that's why he said it. I started going to pliability because I realized if I can just stay flexible long and have the energy to move my feet and joyful, you know, that little boyish joy. Like, if I could just not get the old man lazy bug in me, I can play forever because, nigga, I don't get hit. I throw the ball. I get rid of the ball too quick to get hit. And the penalty,
you know what it is?
And the penalty is too steep to hit me.
What's his name? Brady never gets rid of the ball quick. They always give him such a great line. He gets to sit there.
But dog, you can't say that because he has one of the quickest releases ever.
No. I'm not saying his release isn't quick.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm saying that he doesn't have to throw
Listen
the
to me.
ball fast.
That's what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, we're kind of saying the same thing. Some quarterbacks, they're trying to get rid of the ball.
He's not.
That's not what I'm saying. Oh, so we agree with that. That's not what I'm saying about him. What I'm saying is,
he's just sticking the pocket.
He has such a quick trigger.
From here to here is too fast.
No, he's such a quick trigger that it's almost like he gets the benefit for playing like, but he don't have to because he can sit back, shuffle.
Well, that's because that
shuffle,
nigga has no mobility. He can't run.
But look,
he never could.
But side to side, he's very athletic. His shuffle ability, nigga, his moving around in the pocket is way more athletic than a lot. I see niggas that run 4.5s that get tackled more in the pocket than Tom Brady with better lines. It's field awareness.
There's no better line in the league than Tom Brady.
It's field awareness. You know what I'm saying? It's the fact that he's gonna feel a guy. When I say his quick release, where it helps him is that at that last moment when you are about to get lined up, it's gone, and now you got to dive this way, nigga, and not hit me.
Tom Brady has been sacked less than most quarterbacks ever who've played his line, but that's line.
That's line. It's 50-50 in my opinion. It's line. Maybe even be fair 70-30.
No, because
but it's line and his awareness of the pocket.
It's 90-10 because he never leaves the pocket.
He gets more credit than 10.
I don't think so because a person who has a bad line or a mediocre line spends a lot of time leaving the pocket.
Fam, watch this. Who's more vulnerable?
Tom
the person
Brady?
that's right here operating in this space. I'll show you right here. Who's more vulnerable? The cat that's right here operating in this space or the cat that has all this room? Like, everybody is coming to Tom Brady. All he's doing, you see these little creases? He's going here. And then he's coming back and he's going here. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Right,
that's where I say he's athletic as shit.
Let me say this.
And you just said he don't get hit in there.
Because he has a great line.
It's not that. It's great, but it's not that
so
great.
So when you never have, yes, it is. When you're talking about the least sacked
quarterback. I'm talking about for his career too.
For his career, he's like the least sacked quarterback.
But he hasn't always had the top the line in the league.
They have. New England.
Nigga, I'm a former Cowboys fan.
Has always had one of the greatest lines.
So now you change it. You're saying one of the greatest. Nigga, he's not always had the best offensive line.
He's always had one of the best offensive lines.
But there's people that have had better offensive lines that have been hit more.
But what
that are more athletic, right?
I'm not going to argue this with you. Tom Brady doesn't get sacked a lot. And Tom Brady does not leave the pocket a lot. Tom Brady spends
all those things are true.
90% of his life in the pocket. You can't stay in that pocket without a good line because that pocket is constantly shrinking around you, even with a good line.
I'm conceding everything you're saying. You just refuse to concede that I'm also right in the fact that it's still him too, though. There's a lot of quarterbacks, nigga. It ain't about fast. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are more athletic, more agile, with comparable lines that get hit more, fam. The reason why is because they're not as savvy as Tom Brady. And nigga, don't be having me arguing for fucking Tom Brady over here.
You're really arguing.
You get what I'm saying? Because I'm just keeping it real, though. Like, I don't even fucking like Tom Brady or nothing New England.
Okay, let's do this also. Tom Brady also had like 3 aces in the hole through almost his whole career who helped his quick release, who knew how to he could throw balls in the dark to 3 people, always. Nigga, so it's different. He had
well, listen to me. Okay, well, add that as another thing. But all I'm saying is he gets some credit for it.
People who get sacked more, so go to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson doesn't have great receivers.
It's not a good example. He's not as savvy as a quarterback yet either. He don't have the one thing he struggles in as a quarterback is manipulating the pocket. He's learning how to be a pocket presence guy while being a great dynamic athlete in the league.
Let's go to somebody who's
I'll give you somebody
who's
that's
better. Go to
Dak Prescott.
Go to Mike Vick. Go to Mike Vick days. Mike Vick had no receivers.
But he also
And
had
most of the time, and he had no line.
and
Most of the time.
no pocket awareness either. He wasn't a pocket quarterback.
He was when he went to Philly, when he had a line.
10 years later.
Yeah, but you had to get him a line and receivers.
And he had to commit to learning how to manipulate
and
the
a
pocket.
Good coach. And
Okay, but you can't. But you got to give the athlete some kind of credit, nigga. He has to learn how to manipulate the pocket as well, fam.
And yeah, but he had
and he
to
took
because
that.
he got slower.
He took that for granted because nigga, when he came into the league, he could take off running and he was faster than everybody.
Ready for that,
right? But the world caught up with you because some of those young kids that wanted to be the next Mike Vick, they didn't end up being quarterbacks. They end up being cornerbacks and safeties and DBs. And guess what? They just as fast as your ass now. And he said that. So now you ain't leaving everybody, and it's just like, damn, some of these linebackers is fast, right? So what did he do? He committed to learning how to play quarterback at a higher level, and then he still got some of that Mike Vick.
The only quarterback who sacked who has less sacks than him is what's his name, Mahomes, because I think Mahomes had the best line.
I don't know. I'm just saying, dog, like, that shit matters, man. Pocket awareness matters. It helps manipulate because it's no different than setting a screen in basketball. If you're setting a pick for me and I'm just running like a chick on my head, I don't set you up for it. I mean, yeah, you might set the pick and I might still get open and get a shot off, but I mean, if we working together, I'm unguardable. That's why you can't guard CP right now. Like, he running that high pick and roll, playing that pick and roll perfectly.
That's crazy. Least often sacked. Andrew Brees was fifth least often sacked on a quarterback. Damn, am I wrong? Because this nigga's very low on this list. He's not on here. That's crazy. Drew Brees was the least often sacked quarterback. Nah, Brady doesn't get sacked. Because I've made that goddamn fucking... I made that comment about him so many fucking times.
Fam, I never argued that he did. I'm just saying, we only debate was, it seems like your refusal to give him any credit for it is always because he got a good line and he's got a good relationship with receivers. That's all true, but another part of that is he has because I've seen him play and make it to the playoffs, deep runs, when it was known that they didn't have a great offensive line, when certain people was missing. The reason why they call him the GOAT is because fundamentally he's able to fill in spots for other people and elevate them to a higher level. I've even had to concede that.
But the years that he's had less than good lines, he's lost the Super Bowl.
I mean, that makes sense.
One of the last Super Bowls he lost, he got sacked like 5 times in that game.
No, exactly. And they didn't have no weapons. You know, same motherfuckers that Cam was throwing to. Like, they ain't got no weapons. They ain't have shit.
Yeah, but Tom Brady's that nigga. Tom Brady don't need nobody.
The
I've
thing
always
is,
hated that about that nigga.
No, sometimes it's when the quarterback is such a big star, there is never going to be nobody, right? Like, sometimes that motherfucker, like, people are good, but if they come in and they're a young guy that only had a few catches and nobody really knows them, and then they ball out, Tom Brady's going to get credit for it.
Because even look, when Tom Brady had Moss, they didn't win the Super Bowl that year.
But that was also his most dynamic year ever. That was his most dominant year as a football player. That was the 1 year you looked at Tom Brady and was like, nigga, that nigga is guaranteed the best quarterback.
I get that, but
now we look at him as it's a longevity thing. It's like a accomplishment thing. Like, oh yeah, he's the GOAT. He's been there, done that, so he's pretty much the best. But that 1 year is when we looked at him like, damn, this nigga's out there dropping dimes.
You know what year I looked at him like that? Last year.
I didn't watch.
New fucking team.
Sometimes that's overrated, though, in my opinion.
Nah.
In pro sports, it is.
Nigga, you're talking about one of the hardest sports to win a championship in.
I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree. I've had that disagreement ever since I played football. You're telling me that nigga with a bye, if we're a good team, we only got to play, what, 2-3 games to get to the Super Bowl? Just off, I'm just saying, it's a whole bunch of no-name quarterbacks that got Super Bowl rings.
All right, well, let's do this comparison. How many 5 or more in a row? Fuck that. How many more 5 or more championships in 10 years are there in the NBA than there is to the NFL? How many more repeats are there in the NBA than there is in the NFL? Same as baseball. Baseball had
Okay.
the Yankees
Let me
won
answer
what,
that.
like 7 out of 10. So,
No.
but okay, but
I'm not like
fuck
we're
that.
gonna talk facts, nigga.
We
No,
can
nigga,
make the
that didn't
fucking.
happen. I'm a Yankees fan.
What is it like?
We didn't win 7 out of 10.
5 out of 7 or something.
No, well, nigga, you can always play with the numbers. So if you have a dynasty and you win 3, and
No,
then you
but
just,
y'all
I'm
had
just telling you,
something
and then you
crazy.
go 5 years later, and like, well, they won 3 of the last 5.
You were at
Like,
least like 10 and like 17.
that might
You
sound
were at
more
least
likely.
10 championships
Yeah,
in
but
17
fam, let's
years.
be honest too, though. When you go back in sports,
I'm just talking. Well, hold on. Let's fuck
okay,
that. Get back on track.
okay, I'm there.
From
5.
all, let's
look,
talk about
let's talk,
from all. Well, hold on. Let me say
I'm
this.
ready to answer all the questions you asked me.
Okay, go ahead. 5 or more,
So
and not in a.
listen to me. I'm gonna answer your
10
question, nigga. I can't name a fucking modern day NBA team that has won 5 fucking championships in a 10-year span.
No. I don't even do modern. Do period. I'm talking about even the history of the NFL. I'm not talking about modern day. I'm talking about the history.
Okay, let's compare them. Because when you go back to where there was only a handful of teams, motherfuckers was dominating back in the day, and you could do the same thing. And when you say the same thing about the NBA, when you talk about the Celtics and all that shit and all them dominant championships, niggas forget it was only like 8 fucking teams in the league then with no free agency. So if you had a good team this year and everybody was still playing 4 or 5 years from now and there ain't no free agency, you know how long it takes for you to rebuild a better team than the team I got by just drafting one guy a year? That's why the Celtics got so many championships and ran away with it. I'm just being 100. Nigga, it was like 8, 9 fucking teams in the league. Like, it wasn't like that many teams, and they had all the stars. So I'm just going off the math. Let's just say you got 5 stars, right? Y'all win some championships, and your guys are still in their prime and young. And I'm another team that get 1 star, and then I got to draft the next year to get another star. Then I got to draft another year to get another star. Then I got to draft, you know what I mean, to like finally beat you. I mean, that's just a lot. Meanwhile, you still get the draft talent too.
All right, so we're gonna do the facts right now. I get what you're saying. There have only been 8 back-to-back championships
Right.
in the NFL. There's
Right.
never been 3-peats. There's never been 4-peats.
But that's not.
The most championships in NFL history is 5. It's all tied at 5 now between.
Pittsburgh got 6 championships.
Do they now?
Yeah.
Oh, they got the
Cowboys
okay.
got 5. Nigga.
So there's 3 teams tied with 5, and Pittsburgh number 1 with 6.
So no, let me answer that real quick though, because that's kind of another thing that gets fudged. Football, by the nature of the sport, is hard to dominate in the sense that, nigga, I don't want to say it's luck because there's a lot of skill in that, but it is, nigga. And the same thing with basketball. It's still a lot of luck and skill, but nigga, the bottom line is, nigga, if you got LeBron James can put his imprint on a basketball game because he plays the whole fucking game both ways, more so than nigga Tom Brady or like a star running back can. So so let's say you got a Super Bowl team and y'all great, y'all whoop everybody ass, y'all win those 3 games to get to the Super Bowl. It's easy for y'all. We've seen that happen a lot. What makes it hard to come back the next year, niggas, you got probability of injury, right? You got probability of nigga free agency, nigga, and the lack of non-guaranteed contracts.
So you're basically agreeing with
No,
me that
I'm not.
that's
I'm
one
just
of the hardest
no.
things to do is
If you let
repeat
me
in the
finish,
NFL.
you'll see why I'm not agreeing with you. The reason why I'm not agreeing with you is I'm just pointing out that by nature of the NFL sport, nigga, you can be the best team and not make it to the Super Bowl, right? Because they got it set up like a crapshoot. When you say it's harder, I don't think it's harder because it's already some luck into it. Even when you won, it was some luck. Nigga, Tom Brady.
I never said it was physically
No,
harder.
but this is what I'm saying. When I say and it goes to the definition that you speak. When I say it's more difficult to win, like in baseball or basketball, is nigga to be the best team in basketball, nigga, you have to beat everybody how many times? 4 times. Like to dethrone the best team. You can't just get lucky and nigga kick a field goal and beat the best team, nigga, like LeBron. No, nigga, you know why Phoenix beat LeBron them 4 times. It don't matter if he was unhealthy, who got hurt. That's a harder feat because even in beating them 4 times, one of your guys might get hurt. And then when you get to a game 7 in baseball or like a basketball situation, nigga, you done already threw the kitchen sink at each other. It's just all heart and attrition who's going to win the game.
Okay.
You can't out-scheme each other no more.
Okay, and I get that, but for that whole argument, every football fucking fan, because I'm not a diehard football fan, so I'm just going to play devil's advocate for the sake of it.
Yeah, that's all
is going to argue that, of course.
Not every, because a lot of football fans agree with me, and football players, but go ahead.
Well, they're going to argue that it's the more physical of the two sports. So, of course, it's one game and not 4 games.
Well, let's argue. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Because that's something that, like, even the NFL doesn't agree with no more. The Players Association has them where they got them held down to, like, no, it's too physical. Even the NFL is like, nigga, we got the data, man. That ain't even fucking true. First off, it's hundreds of niggas on a football team versus 15. Secondly, they get a whole week for travel. And I'm sorry, fam, but go look at size and body structure. You're not going to just say that niggas in the NFL are just bigger than people in the NBA. And there's no. I'm just speaking. I'm speaking rhetorically. I'm not. Let me finish my statement. Basketball is a full contact sport on a hardwood floor, nigga, with no pads. If you go look at the injuries that's sustained in basketball versus the injuries that's sustained in football, I guarantee you, nigga, they're really up neck to neck. Go watch a basketball player that's played 10, 15 years in the league, and then go watch a football nigga walk. They're all fucked up.
Well, CTE, same thing. You think NBA players are suffering from CTE?
If they've been concussed enough.
But on the level of football players?
No.
Are there any documented cases of mental harm and suicides over?
Well, no, you don't argue the same thing twice. That's CTE. That's based on CTE solely.
I get that, but I'm at
that comes up
from consistent hitting of something, right? If we're talking the more physical and all that shit, dog, just that on a level makes football a more dangerous sport than basketball.
But now we're changing with the words because I didn't say that basketball is more dangerous than football. But when you start talking about physicality, I'm talking about the harm to. Let me say that. Just use your words because then I'll understand.
You're right.
Better.
I worded that wrong.
Like I'm just talking about the harm to one's body.
The NFL is a more dangerous sport, and I feel like you're risking too much.
Hey, hold on. And fam, if we being 100, it used to be a far more dangerous sport, nigga. Because you can't do none of the shit that you like brag like saying
we're
now.
We're talking about Tom Brady. Oh, he was back in.
No, we're talking about right now. We're just talking about now.
But we're talking about repeating, and there hasn't been a repeat in the NFL since.
But what about parity? But what about parity? No. What about parity too, though?
But what I'm saying is it's a more dangerous sport, and it's why they're not playing fucking 16 games or potentially, what is it, 7 times 4 is...
Bro, these motherfuckers play like 28 games.
It
takes you 21 games.
21 games to
it takes you 21 games to win a Super Bowl. Versus
No,
82 games in a regular season.
I'm talking about playoffs. I'm talking about the regular season. I'm talking about
it's like what is it? It's what's...
What's average? Because it's all sweeps. So it's not 16 games. So what is it? Average.
We're talking about basketball?
Yeah. We already know what football is. One game. I'm talking about average.
If you make it to the finals, you played over like 108 games, 100 and some 18
I'm talking
games.
about just playoffs. What do you think the average games played are?
Well, it's a 7-game series.
But not everybody's going 7. What do you think the average is? Because
you at least got to play 4.
28.
You at least got to play 4. You can't.
So let's say we're averaging 20 of them, 22 games, right, to get to the championship.
Okay, and then put in the travel.
You
don't get a week off.
I'm not saying. Like I said,
I'm just throwing all these things in to talk about the physicality.
Football is more dangerous.
Right.
It's not more physical of a sport.
It used to be.
Prior to the last 5 years.
Look what they've done to the punt return, man. Like, come on.
I don't want to talk.
What are we talking about here, nigga? The football. We acting like niggas is acting like this is back in the day when niggas is getting their finger cut off, nigga, so they can stay in the game. But it's not the same football.
I can't even do this to you on a punt return, nigga.
You can't do that shit to me when I'm running down the field either. Dog, all this talk about physicality, just remember, you're talking about at the end of the play. If you're a lineman, you're talking about on contact. I get that.
No, okay,
but I'm just saying,
here's
dog.
what I'm saying. The reason that the seasons
how many running backs
play
the whole game? Like back in the day. How many running backs line up, nigga, in that thing and just eat the rock all game? Most teams got 3 starting running backs, fam.
I
About 5 to
think
6 starting receivers, nigga.
Saquon
Like, I'm just saying,
and-
bro. Is it really as
I think
physical?
Saquon might be the only one who
Is it
doesn't
really
have
as
that
physical
backup.
as we remember it to be and as we saying? Because sometimes niggas is out here walking around in
Well, no, yes, it
and
is.
Bart Stark's
yes,
glory and shit, nigga. Like back in the day,
yes,
like
it
this
is. I don't feel like it's as.
It's
it
still the
ain't
most.
nowhere-
It's
it
still
ain't
probably. It's still the
nowhere-
most contact sport.
It's the most dangerous sport still. When it comes,
It's
to,
not the most dangerous sport. Relax, bro.
What's the most dangerous sport?
Boxing, nigga.
Oh,
Nigga, ain't nobody
I
died
don't
playing
consider-
football.
I don't consider. See, that's my thing. That's
Ain't nobody
like,
died. Niggas
I
have died
get-
playing
I get-
basketball,
I
though.
get boxing
Hold on,
as a
wait. Let's talk
sport.
about that. Niggas have died playing basketball, dog.
Niggas have died playing football.
Who?
It just
No.
It's
Stop.
probably the same.
It's famous
story.
stories. Don't say probably. I'm telling you facts. It's famous stories of famous people that have died playing basketball, nigga. Mainly because, nigga, the cardiovascular that it
I'm
takes,
sure
nigga,
I
to
could
run up and
jump
down
on
that 74
Google, and
I'm just saying.
It's probably even how
But we
many
don't
have
know-
died in an NBA game and how many have
Bro,
died in a football game, bro.
It's not, though. It's not, fam.
That's why we got Google.
That's why we got it, but I don't need it. I'm telling you, it's not. Nigga,
And-
I can
and-
name two
And
basketball
more
stars
people-
that died
more
playing
people
basketball.
have
fam.
died on the soccer field than any sport, nigga.
And what does that have in common? Soccer players do what? Like basketball players. They play the whole game. They play back and forth, nigga. That's a lot of outside of the physical pounding. That's a lot of eternal pounding. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like I ain't trying to like football is football, but when you take into consideration like the new era of football, nigga, the padding and all that type of shit, it's a different sport. But I'm just like, nigga,
Nah, you're right.
I'm not even trying to sound like a dick. I know I'm right.
Nigga, fuck you. There's only been one NFL
I do.
player to die in the NFL on the field.
I wouldn't have
Nigga died-
argued with
that
you
nigga
if I thought.
of a heart attack.
Yeah, no, that's a lot, bro. Now, you have these coaches and shit. You have some young players and shit that have died in football, like in conditioning and practice
There
and shit
have
like
been
that.
okay. There might be more people that die in the NBA on the court, but there's probably more people that die post.
Here you go with probably again.
From okay. I'm not even gonna say probably. I'm not even gonna say probably. I'm gonna say there are more people who have died from shit from playing a sport post from football than there has been basketball. Especially
But I mean,
with the CTE
that
shit,
statement-
with the steroids and all that shit that have been going on in football.
Nigga,
Because
you don't think steroids goes crazy in basketball?
Not as much. There ain't
You
been
sound
as many
crazy.
people have died, dog.
You sound crazy.
Anyway, I'm not gonna get in this argument. Before we do,
We can
end
pull it
on
up,
that
my nigga.
note.
That's all I'm saying. We can pull it up off camera.
I'm just not arguing for the sake of arguing. I'm definitely not in the mood for that, bro.
But you definitely are right now, though, because you're arguing a speculative point and then like getting at me like it's a fact. You just speculated and let it off like a fact. That's why we arguing. We're not even arguing. I just rebutted that.
NFL than they have.
All right. Well, when you say probably, we can look it up.
I'm gonna go ahead and say.
Let me put this on the record, though. What I was saying is that, like, I think that post-athletic career, a lot of athletes from all walks of life have a hard time. I would say combat sports being the more severe. And as much as people like to use the like make it sound like it is, football's not really a combat sport. It's a contact sport, but so is soccer and so is basketball.
I don't consider. They need to stop saying that fighting is a sport.
It is a sport.
Its own thing. Because you don't know. Because every fighter says this. You don't play fighting. You
Hey, bro,
play
let me tell you some
every
real
other
shit.
sport.
No, you don't. That's how you get fucking severely hurt. You go on the NBA and drive down the lane with those fucking giants, nigga, with 2% body fat playing around.
So technical. You know
Nigga,
what I'm saying,
I don't.
dog.
I'm responding to what you're
Let's
saying.
say this. What do we say
Fuck
when
is
we,
you talking
what do
about?
we say
Just
when we
responding
about
to
to
what
go
you're
play
saying.
basketball? We finna go play basketball. We're finna
Go play football.
We don't go play boxing. We're not
Yes,
gonna
you do.
go. We're not gonna go
Yes, you
put
do.
on the gloves. and
Niggas
say,
slap
"I'm about
box
to
all
play
around the country. Niggas spar. Niggas do play box.
When niggas go into a boxing
Match. Okay, so now you just changed it.
They don't.
'Cause
Okay, and when LeBron and them go play a basketball game, they're gonna say, "I'm going to play basketball, bro."
No, stop. Now you playing with words. When you go perform at a basketball game, There is no playing around, nigga. You can fucking end your career, nigga, and
But
lifestyle.
you're still at
when
the
you
end
walk
of the
on
day
a football
playing
field,
a
no,
game.
nigga. When you walk on a football field and you getting that punt return, nigga, you're watching a game. Them niggas on the field is not
Like I said,
playing a game,
it's
fam.
called playing basketball. It's not called playing boxing. It never has been playing boxing. There's been fighting.
For
it's
that,
not
for
play
that's
MMA.
for okay. So
it's
let
not
me
play karate.
let me tell you your point right now. Let me just rebut that.
It's not.
It's called
I guess I
basketball.
can't say play wrestling.
It's called
That shit is
basketball,
all playing.
and it's called football. Hey, what are they doing over there? Oh, that's basketball.
They're
That's
playing
football.
basketball. They're playing football.
You're talking about the English language.
But ain't nobody gonna say that's football. If somebody says what's that, of course they're gonna be like that's football. But if they say what are they doing over there, they're playing basketball, not that's basketball.
Okay, so when somebody sees some kids playing fucking tag, how do they describe that? What are they doing? They're playing,
tag.
right? So it is a difference, nigga. We're playing nuance with the English language. You're saying because no one says,
But it's never
linguistically, nigga. They're about to go play boxing. They're about to go play boxing right now. You saying that means that it shouldn't be a sport?
So are you saying that
it's the oldest sport though, mind you?
Are you saying basketball is on the same level?
That's why it took you so long to say that, because no.
On the same level, physically and dangerous as fighting?
Whoever said that? No. Whoever.
But they're playing a sport, right?
Indicated that.
But they're playing a sport, right?
Nigga, so is golf not a sport?
You play golf.
But is golf not a sport? What's physical about golf, nigga?
Not a damn thing.
So why are you talking to me about physicality when it comes to sport, nigga?
Because
badminton
I'm telling you
and
that,
all these other
I'm
things is
telling you
fucking
that
sports, fam.
fighting should be taking
Nigga,
out of the
there's
sports
fishing.
realm.
Like, ain't nothing physical
But
about
that's
that.
why I'm saying you need to take fighting.
What about NASCAR drivers?
Out of the
They're athletes, right?
Am I gonna have to repeat this? That's why I'm saying you need to take fighting and put it in its own genre, like you did hip hop from every other fucking genre of music.
It's in its genre. It has its own genre, dog. It's called combat sports. That's its own genre.
That shit should be called combat.
No, it's not.
Because that's combat.
Nigga, combat is what men and women in the military do, nigga. That's combat. This is a combat sport, and mean in the sense that we're enacting similarities in the fact that, boy, you can get hurt out here, and you have to have a fucking athletic skill
and discipline. What is the definition of a sport? What is the exact definition of sport?
Look it up.
Nigga, you got a phone too, nigga.
Yeah, nigga, but you don't want to looking shit up, and you don't want to just ask the question, nigga. I don't want to know the definition of sport. You do. And I don't know the definition of sport, so I didn't have the exact Webster's definition for you, so I recommended that you just looked it up, nigga. That's all I was doing.
You got all the other fucking sports knowledge.
Hey, I just know what I know, my nigga. I'm telling you.
The definition of
nigga,
sport.
you talking about the oldest sport out. Shouldn't be a sport.
It should
Fuck.
That should be in the combat.
Nigga, the sweet science, nigga. No, because that's disrespectful to motherfuckers that's really in combat. That's why they call it combat sports. Because a lot, like in combat, you can get your ass hurt. Not severely hurt like in combat. Because let's face it, motherfuckers ain't just dying like that. Right?
An activity involving a physical exertion and a skill in which an individual team can... Oh, they worded that wrong. An individual team can... I don't know how you have an individual team. They forgot.
Just finish it.
Competes against another or others for entertainment.
So that's where they said team. Because or others. So or others could be individuals. So, nigga, there's individual sports as we know, and there's team sports. So by that definition, boxing is definitely a sport. By they describe boxing damn near in the definition. Between the physicality and the skill set. What sport determines more skill, like it requires more skill than boxing?
I don't know. I'm over it, though.
Exactly. Nigga, not football or basketball. Just saying, my nigga. Like, that's all I was saying. I've had this argument before, nigga. Like, it's a sport.
I just don't feel like basketball is that dangerous of a sport.
I feel like you ain't never got a fucking forearm to your face by a 6'10" nigga.
Do I feel I didn't? That's physicality. And say that's not very dangerous.
Okay, nigga, go ask D Book. See, in football, you don't see niggas bleeding in the face and shit like that. I wonder why.
Because they got a fucking
okay then, nigga. So don't tell me. And I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I've been around NFL players, and I've been around NBA players, bro. I've been around big niggas in the NBA. And niggas that supposedly, a big nigga in the NFL outside of a handful of them is going to be capped off at about 6'6", 6'5". That's guard area nigga in the NBA. Now, they might be bigger in terms of like, they'll be like 250, 260, 270. But nigga, it ain't too many niggas in the NFL that's just moving LeBron around if he wanted to play football. And I can start naming a whole bunch of basketball players from the Ron Artestas to the Shaquille O'Neals to all these big freaks that if you put shoulder pads.
Not Shaquille O'Neal.
Shit.
LeBron will get moved on that football
You sound
field.
crazy. Why
Hold
didn't
on,
he?
Let me rephrase.
He was a top football recruit,
LeBron
nigga.
Now,
Mr. Football.
LeBron now
Get moved by who?
would get moved on that football field.
So if he played receiver like he did in high school, in college,
LeBron,
nigga, get
ain't
the fuck
nobody
out of here.
moving LeBron
Do you know how much
at the
LeBron
prime.
weighs?
He's like
Guess.
265 or something.
So nigga, when he left Miami, he was at 275.
Yeah, he was way bigger.
It's a rumor that he might be down to 265. LeBron James is 6'9". Let's give him 265. But you know what his 40 was, nigga?
Niggas don't move LeBron.
Who? Niggas couldn't
Hold on,
move.
are you talking linemen or are you talking
niggas couldn't move.
cornerbacks?
I don't care if LeBron played defensive end or wide receiver or
He'd
tight
get-
end.
he'd get
He's
moved.
dominating.
He'd get moved.
There's not nobody in NFL physically big enough to do that, bro.
He'd get moved.
Name the guy though. Name a big nigga in the NFL. I love doing that.
A DeMarcus Ware could move him.
Nigga, DeMarcus Ware. Do you know how big DeMarcus Ware is?
DeMarcus Ware is big.
Nigga, he's 6'3", 245 pounds, fam. Get
Nigga,
the fuck out
but
of
he
here.
was moving the biggest of niggas.
But no. He wasn't doing that, nigga, to niggas like Terrell Owens and shit like that.
Lawrence
Hold
Taylor.
on, stop. Terrell Owens, the most dominant physical receiver. Do you know how big he is? You talking 6'2", like what, 230?
Lawrence Taylor.
Get the fuck out of here.
Lawrence Taylor.
I don't care, bro.
Warren Sapp.
Warren Sapp is the only name that you gave me where I would definitely be like, okay, nigga, that'll be an issue.
Brian.
But nigga, Warren Sapp,
Brian Urlacher.
Neither one of them want to see LeBron James running full speed in pads on the sideline, nigga. They all gonna make a career decision. I seen niggas making a career decision for Tim Tebow, fam.
Nigga, hold on. Nigga on my team, Jordan, my lineman, will move that nigga LeBron. Nigga, please.
I'm just saying, fam.
Nigga, there's niggas on
And even if you
on the
name
Saints
one person,
line.
bro, you reaching, you struggling. When you start talking about there's some big niggas in the league, bro.
No, but I
That's
was talking.
big.
No. Okay,
And a big muscular nigga to me is just a big muscular
Let me
nigga.
rephrase. D linemen, O linemen are going to move LeBron. Anybody outside of that is going to get.
I'm telling you right now.
the fuck
LeBron
over.
James will be a problem at defensive end. Dog, do you understand that LeBron James had a contract with the Cowboys during a lockout?
I feel like he would.
You know that nigga got Mr. Ohio football,
I
right?
feel like he would
Over
be,
Brady Quinn.
I feel like
all
he would be.
Braylon Edwards.
The reason he would be good at line.
He got recruited by every school in the country.
Because the niggas stop doing that.
He got recruited by every school in the country.
Oh, that's what's up. I forgot what I was gonna say.
That ain't my fault.
Anyway, on that note, I'm done.
Let's wrap
I'm
it,
not
man.
gonna keep fucking forgetting what I'm trying to say.
Let's wrap it. We done here. And on that note, what's this, episode 50? 50? You know what I'm saying? We out of here.
I'm your fucking host, Doc On.
And I'm just your host, man. Akeem Sincere. Ain't no fucking over here.
Fuck
Pause.
him.
100, man. We out. You better go look at them Bron highlights,
I ain't
nigga.
worried about Bron
Let me
highlights.
show you these Bron football highlights, nigga.
I don't want to watch. I don't like watching LeBron fucking highlights. That nigga annoys me.
Okay, well, I'm going to show them to you anyways.
I'm not gonna watch.